What's up, everybody? You are tuned in to the Cris Style
Ammo.
Podcast 185. Hope everybody's having a good day, whatever you're doing. You're at home, you're at work, whatever you're doing. We appreciate y'all tapping in with us. Uh, we got a lot of things to talk about: NBA news, NFL news, boxing news, WNBA stuff. We got a lot of things to cover. We didn't have a show on Wednesday, so I'm trying to get, cover some of the stuff that we were going to cover on Wednesday. So bear with us today, man, because we got a full slate and full topics today. But before we get into that, Mal, how are you feeling, sir?
I'm good, bro. Good, man. Nice Monday. Just left the gym, did a little quick workout, man. So I'm feeling good, man. How you feeling?
I'm pretty good, man. I can't complain. Can't complain at all. All right, man. Let's tap into the NBA real quick. Let me pull this up. There you go. So there's a few signings that have happened. Matter of fact, one happened this morning. Uh,
Just in case, let you know.
oh, okay. Um, so Chris Paul, he's returning to the Clippers on a veteran deal, a 1 year, $3.6 million deal to the LA Clippers,
Yeah.
which will pretty much be his finale. He's already announced that this is his last season of
Mhm.
his 21-year career, so he will end it with the Clippers. Your Lakers signed Marcus Smart after waiving Shake Milton to free up a roster spot. They signed him. I think it was a 2 year deal. Um, and then Damian Lillard, he returned to Portland. Um, and what's his name? Khan Knipple was named
Yeah.
Summer League MVP.
hmm
So that's pretty much most of the news that I've seen so far. That's recent. What are your thoughts on everything that I have announced?
Like obviously, I'll start with the Clippers. I know the big news out with them is obviously they got Bradley Beal and Chris Paul to add to the addition of that backcourt. After them trading away Norman Powell, so now you have Bradley Beal, James Harden, and Chris Paul. I know there's a lot of media members who are they're trying to hype up these couple signings and stuff like that. I personally do not see it. Like me personally, Ty Lue is a hell of a coach. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they're going to be a bad team at all. I think we should hold cause to pause because there's a lot of ifs with this team. Like obviously the biggest if with this team is can they stay healthy? I think that is the biggest question. Like that backcourt did get a little older. I think defensively they're a lot weaker. You're telling me a backcourt of James Harden and Bradley Beal is going to be something that offensive players are going to be worried about? No, they're really not. And I know they're trying to tell me that they can funnel through, to Ivak Zubac, and you still got Kawhi Leonard. And yes, that is true. Kawhi Leonard, I still think is a top tier defensive player. He is getting older. At the same time, we got to, caution to pause every year with him. Can he hold up for the whole year? You know what I mean? Like, obviously, he did miss some part of the time last year with the knee injury. But, for overall sakes, that was probably his most healthiest season since the Toronto Raptors year where he won the championship. And Chris Paul, that was the first year in a long time he was able to play all 82 games. Like, obviously, he was limited in his minutes, so they wanted to put him at more of a controlled pace where they weren't like using him too much, but he was able to play all 82. Can we expect that from Chris Paul and James Harden as well? James Harden is also an injury liability, as well as Bradley Beal. I get Bradley Beal, him being on a lower tier contract, the value is obviously there. Like, yeah, like compared to you paying him almost $50 million, yeah, $5 million, $6 million deal for Bradley Beal is going to look more appeasing, especially the type of talent that he is. But let's not forget, this is the same guy who was on a so-called championship squad last year with the likes of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, two guys who need the ball in their hands. Not so much more with Kevin Durant, but you would like to have him have the ball in his hands. And you saw what happened with Bradley Beal. He literally got played off the court, you know what I mean? Because he was a liability. What's the situation that's going to happen with the Clippers? Who needs the ball in their hands? James Harden. He needs to be ball dominant for him to have any kind of effectiveness on the offensive side. Kawhi Leonard. Yes, he can play off the ball, but you would like to have him with the ball in his hands. Ivaka Zubac. I think he's the legit third scorer on this team. So Bradley Beal is going to be your fourth scorer. That's what you want. Meanwhile, you have his agent who is saying that you need Bradley Beal to play like Bradley Beal. You need him to be the Washington Wizards, Bradley Beal. How is that going to be possible? Like, I just don't see that. I think he'll be somewhat of a fit, but if we're going to compare and contrast, I think Norman Powell is a better player currently right now than Bradley Beal is. That's no offense, but that's just the reality of the situation. I think Norman Powell is a better defender, and he was just as good of a scorer last year as Bradley Beal, even better. So, and more consistent as far as efficiency. So, with that, you got to me, it's a wait and see thing. I'm not going to put them as like some, team that's on the same tier as like an Oklahoma City Thunder or a Denver Nuggets. Those will probably be my top two favorites in the West right now. And then the next tier, I would probably put the Lakers, the Houston Rockets. I will also probably have, I would probably still put Minnesota there, even though they did get affected with the Alexander. But I still expect Anthony Edwards hasn't hit his peak. Like, I still think we're some years away till we hit his peak performance, and I think Anthony Edwards could be that type that can carry a team. So I would probably, and then maybe I might put the Clippers in that situation too with health involved. So I think it's all mumbled up. Obviously, we know how deep the West is. It should be definitely interesting. As far as the Charlotte Hornets, man, with Con Knipple, man, you could tell. I was a little bit of skeptic as watching him. Like, I get it with the size and the 3-point shooting. He is going to be a great player to be part of a team. Like, I could definitely see him being a part of a championship team. Did I think he should have been this high of pick? I was a little skeptical of him being like a top 5, top 6 type of pick. But, man, he performed well. The Charlotte Hornets, man, they look good. Obviously, it's kind of hard to weigh how much stock you want to put in the summer league. I would say this: if the only stock I think you probably could say is that maybe they might have like a decent farm system now with actual talent that's on that team. They're gonna have a slew of guys that they probably can choose from depending on how many spots they have available, how many guys they want to give 2 ways and stuff like that. So, and obviously having a really good Ricky coming in who has a legit elite specialty in shooting threes, and he's a decent defender with good size. I think that's really good for this young team. Hopefully, the Hornets can build upon that. Obviously, with their superstar LaMelo Ball, and you still got Brandon Miller there and Miles Bridges and stuff like that. You actually have a good slew of young talent there. It's just that can they put it all together? As far as like anything else happening in NBA news that was very intriguing, obviously, I think one of the more intriguing things right now is currently the whole expansion conversation right now. Obviously, everybody's been we've been hearing about expansion for the last couple of years. LeBron, Seattle, Vegas, and all that type of stuff. And, everybody's wondering when they're going to finally announce it. Everybody was waiting for the media deal, TV rights deal to happen. TV rights deal happened. So now it's just kind of like a wait and see game. Now, obviously, now we're hearing more and more rumors about James Dolan trying to have like a little coup of ownerships that are trying to like dissuade other owners to potentially have expansion. Obviously, because with expansion, yes, with the amount of money that these teams would garner, because you got to assume that a Vegas and Seattle franchise would probably cost anywhere from the range of probably $6 to $8 billion right now, especially with everything going on with the Lakers sale and the Celtics sale. Obviously, that money would come in, and obviously that money would be dividend amongst the other teams. But James Dolan has this idea that if we add 2 more teams, it's going to take away from the pot from the media TV rights deal. And obviously, we all know how stingy James Dolan is and how much he loves his money. He's been well known for that. He's done that in the WNBA as well, trying to be a proponent from not getting the Golden State Valkyrie and trying to expand those teams as well. So I think that's I think that's one of the bigger conversations right now in the NBA as far as like expansion. So I think we should look out for that. And then obviously, LeBron James, we still got that whole situation. There are rumors that this could potentially be his last year. So I think those are some of the key stories we should still keep an eye on for the rest of the summer.
And what's your thoughts on your Lakers getting Marcus Smart?
Man, I love it, man. I love the additions. You already know how I feel about DeAndre Ayton. I think for everything, all the stuff that we were kind of talking about with Rob Pelinka and Laker fans not being happy with Rob Pelinka, I think we have every right. I think we have every right to feel that way. But at the end of the day, I think what Rob Pelinka was able to do was still keeping the assets. I know Dalton Connect's value is pretty low right now by what we've seen in the summer league, so it's not really high. But we still got our first round picks. We still have Dalton Connect. We still have our expiring contracts, and for us to be able to get DeAndre Ayton and a Marcus Smart and the young kid from, I think he used to play for the Kings or something like that. I forgot his name. He's a really good player. So for those 3, and then we lose Dorian Finney-Smith, Unfortunately, we had to cut Goodwin and Milton. I liked Goodwin, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I know there's some Laker fans who are kind of like up and roar about Goodwin. I like Goodwin. I think he's a solid rotational player. But let's state facts, man. He's 14th man on the bench. Like, he came in, he gave us some sparingly good minutes, but overall, is he really going to change that much fortune for us if he's on the team or not? No, it's not. I think Marcus Smart is going to be a big key component. He could be one of our better defensive players. I know a lot of people are saying that, he's not what he used to be with the Celtics and all that. We got to remember, it was just only a couple years ago where he was, one of the best defensive players. And I get it. He's had some injury struggles, the last couple years, but put your mindset. You went from a top tier franchise in the Boston Celtics to getting shipped away to the Memphis Grizzlies. You see that same year you get shipped, the Boston Celtics win a championship with a team you were drafted by, that you were fighting for every year to get a championship. You had so many close moments with the Celtics, going to so many conference finals and stuff like that. To now you get shipped off and you watch your former team win a championship. Then you go ahead and get shipped off to the Washington Wizards, and we all know what kind of sad franchise that's in that state. They've been in a whirlwind of just disaster deals, and just the combination of what the team currently was in the past. Obviously, I do like the direction that the Wizards are going now. The addition of CJ McCollum, you got Chris Middleton, you got adults in that room. You shift off Jordan Poole, but you got a healthy balance of veteran leadership with some nice young talent. Kubalali and Sar and stuff like that. So I actually like that. I think they could be heading in the right direction. Hopefully they can get those young cats moving in a great direction. But overall, man, with the Lakers, man, I like it, man. I think we're going to have a solid rotation. Obviously, it all depends on Luka Doncic and his health, and obviously, he's looking really, really good. I'm really curious to see how he looks in the EuroLeague tournament that they got going on overseas. I think that starts sometime in mid-August, I think. So obviously, pictures are swirling around on how lean Luka is looking. I'm really digging it. So obviously, hopefully, he's definitely going to be motivated, especially everything going on in Dallas, how he got shipped off, and obviously, all the hype that's going to go into Dallas as far as like, the addition of Cooper Flag, hopefully Kyrie Irving can get back healthy from that knee injury. He obviously looks like he's in good spirits. We see a lot of him, doing his Twitch stream. So salute to Kai. Obviously, Klay Thompson, my man looks really reinvigorated. Obviously, he got the new fade, he got the new cut, he got the new lady and Meg, so he seems like he's in a great mind space. So obviously that team is going to be definitely something to keep an eye on for sure with the Mavs, but I think that's going to be even more motivation for Luka to prove them wrong and why they should have never traded him. So, and then if we can get a dominant Luka Doncic, a healthy Luka Doncic, if we can get a healthy LeBron James where he can obviously stay healthy. Obviously, he is getting older in age. He is very dependent as far as like health, but we all know the last couple of years he's been dinged up a little bit more than usual, and all that comes with age. That comes with expected. Hopefully, with some of these additions, hopefully LeBron James doesn't have to exert that amount of energy, especially on the defensive side. If you look at last year, he exerted a lot of energy on that defensive side, especially when we were rolling. When we had AD out for a little bit, and then obviously when Luka Doncic was able to come in, he definitely kind of wanted to set the mindset for that. So hopefully, there are other conversations with Vando being a lot healthier. Talking about that, there are also obviously I saw an article with Mark Stein talking about that. Marcus Smart has been really dedicated to his body. Obviously a lot leaner. Focusing on that. So if all these guys can stay healthy, Vando, hopefully he can get a jump shot. I think we'll be in good hands. Hopefully DeAndre Ayton could be highly motivated with all the conversations around him of being this type of player who isn't motivated, who is, takes plays off and stuff like that. Hopefully the main thing with the Lakers that I think they're kind of banking on is that we're going to have a lot of motivation on this team, whether it's for contracts, whether it's for perception, whether it's for legacy. I think everybody has a chip on their shoulder, from Austin Reeves to Luka to LeBron to Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton, Laravia, like all these cats, Rui, Dalton, like all these guys have chips on their shoulders where they either got to prove something to somebody, or, whether it's legacy, whether I should still be on this team and not get traded, that I have some value, that I'm not a washed up player. that I am the greatest of all time, that I deserve a $30 million a year contract. Like, all these players are coming in with motivation. And I think that should be one of the big keys for the Lakers. And it could go one or two ways. Either it could be really great for us, or it'll be a situation where, we make the playoffs and then we get bounced out in the first round. And then obviously I think all signs are pointing that Luka Doncic is going to sign his extension. I just think it's just a matter of the years. I think the high percentage thing, I think he's going to do the 3 years, because I think after the second year, he's able to opt into get an extra year and get more money. So, so I'm pretty stoked about it.
For sure, for sure. Sorry, my Mac was unplugged.
No, you good, you good. I got my Lakers stuff off my chest.
For sure. All right, man. Let's talk about the boxing weekend this weekend.
Yeah.
There was a big man. It was Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios. Had a full card. Pull this, also, Usyk and Dubois had a fight too. I know Bam Rodriguez had a fight, but Usyk defeated Daniel Dubois uh, in the fifth round TKO. He, knocked him out. Um, Pretty much, Usyk, he just showed his footwork, his speed. Dubois just was too slow with the punches. Um, what's your name was just too fast with his jab. He was too fast with the counter punching. He would bait him a lot to come in, like he would get close to the ropes or get close to the corner, and let Dubois throw that. He was just trying to swing for the fences, trying to knock him out. He got a couple good shots in, but once Usyk, I think, felt his power, I think he just felt like, I could take this punch. You know what I'm saying? So, and I just think that Usyk threw the more effective punches from the jab to the right hand to the hook, and he just caught him. He caught him in the fifth round. He caught him before the round was over. He knocked him down. He was able to kind of get his stuff together in the corner, but he came back out, and then Yusuf caught him right on the top of the head. Boom, right there. Kind of slumped over and just fell. So,
Right.
uh, and that was the fight. And there's a lot of discourse on Usyk. Is he one of the greatest of all time? I wouldn't put him in that boat because let's just be real. This heavyweight division isn't the greatest. So his biggest competition probably was Tyson Fury. And those were good fights, especially the second one. The last one was a really good fight. It was pretty close, I thought. But I just thought Yusuf pulled it out in the last later rounds. But outside of that, like we don't really look at anybody who's going to be able to beat Usyk. They're probably going to try to find some young guy. There are some young guys, that could possibly give him some problems because he is a smaller heavyweight. He's 220, and for him to handle Tyson Fury the way he is, and even Dubois, because Dubois is 6'5", 250. You know what I'm saying? So for him to handle these guys, and he's using his speed, his footwork, and he has punching power himself because he gave Tyson Fury some problems with his punching power too. So the guy has all the tools. He's a really good boxer. And I think the sky's the limit for Usyk. I think that he's got probably a couple more fights in him if they can find some guys in there. I don't think that I don't see Anthony Joshua getting this fight because he's on the downward tick. There's rumors of him possibly fighting Jake Paul, so that's probably where he's at in his career. Maybe we get Wilder, Joshua now that they're both on the down tick. Even though Wilder just won a fight, but still they're kind of on the down tick of their careers right now. I don't see Wilder getting a fight against Usyk either. So I don't know. They'll probably try to. I know they was talking about this one young guy. I forgot his name, but it's possibly being the next contender. I know Turk even tweeted it out. That's who he wanted to see him fight next. So we'll see with Usyk. This is his time, his era. Like he said, 38 is young. I still got a lot left in me. Pretty much, he's trying to say. So we'll see how long he goes. Maybe he has a couple more years in him, and then he'll call it quits because he is a late bloomer. So we'll see though. But also, I'll start with Pitbull. He ended up winning his fight. He actually had the guy that he was supposed to fight, I think his name was Angel Ferrier. He had to pull out. I forgot the reasons why, but he had to withdraw from the fight. So he ended up having to stand there. And Omar Sendo, I think that's his name.
Hmm.
He was already scheduled to fight on the card, but I think his opponent had pulled out too, so they just went on ahead, just made that fight. He pretty much handled him, unanimously. This is probably one of Pitbull's, better fights I've seen him in a while. Even though the last one he had with Angel was a very competitive, traditional Mexican style fight where you just stand there and trade shots all day. That's why it was a draw. But he handled this dude pretty good. He won unanimously. Uh, 98, 99, 89, 99, 89, and the one judge had 188. So he handled them pretty handily. Then you had the Tim Zoo versus Stephen Sebastian Fedor fight. Now, the first time these dudes fight, and this is crazy because it's just funny how one fight can kind of derail a fighter.
Hmm.
Tim Zoo fought Sebastian Fedor the first time they fought, and I felt like Tim Zoo was winning that fight. He was handling Sebastian Fedor pretty handily. And then, Sebastian Fedor is if you have never seen him, he's a long, lanky
Yeah.
154. So he's difficult to fight because he's so long and he has power too. You wouldn't think it because he's so skinny and small and like in stature, but he's very powerful. Like he hits you, and dudes usually bleed. Go watch him and Eric Lubin. That was a brutal fight. He beat the
Yeah.
hell out of Lubin. So, um, but I thought the first fight Tim Zoo was winning, and then he ended up hitting him with his elbow on accident. It was like an accidental hit, and it was just like Tim Zoo's head just started bleeding out of his head really bad.
Mm.
Blood was getting in his eyes. He couldn't really box the same way, and they called it a no contest pretty much. So fast forward, Tim Zoo, he fought some other guy he was supposed to beat. He ended up losing that fight, getting knocked down. I think got knocked out or knocked down, and he ended up losing that fight. And then fast forward, we come back to this fight, and it just seemed like Tim Zoo is not the same fighter anymore. Like Sebastian Fedor controlled this fight from round one up until I think it was like round seven. He threw in the towel. Like Tim Zoo didn't not want to come back out. He told him, I don't want to continue." He got knocked down in the first round, and it was just Sebastian just did whatever he wanted with him. And so he ended up winning the fight, TKO, and Sebastian moves on to be, he's still the 154 champion, and it's gonna be interesting to see who Sebastian Fedor fights next. Maybe we get him and Virgil Ortiz. That would be a really, really good fight. I'd be interested to see that fight. That would be
Hmm.
a good fight.
That would be a good one.
Yeah, I think that would be a good fight to see at 154. We'll see what happens with Boots. I know they say he wants a tune up, so I'm pretty for sure he wants to see how it feels to fight at 154 and get a tune up guy and then fight the bigger fight. So I'm not actually too mad at that. You got to get your feet wet first before you jump out there. Um, so it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with Sebastian Fedor. As far as Tim Zoo goes, it might be over. And I know he's a young guy; he's still young, but it might be over. He might not be getting those big fights that he was on the trajectory to get and being one of the better 154 pounders. It seems like he's going to be kind of like the mid level card, unless he can get it back. You never know. Guys can return and get back to form, and maybe
Hmm.
it's just a mental thing. But maybe it's Sebastian Fedor was just a tough matchup because he's a tough matchup for anybody. Because like I said, he's like 6'2", 6'3". He's tall as hell. He's lanky. He's long. It's
Yeah.
hard to get around his jab. It's hard. His uppercuts are good. Like it's hard to get an angle. You try to duck down his ankle. He's like he can angle his punch to
Hmm.
hit you on. And so it's difficult. So we'll see. We'll see. And then of course, Bam Rodriguez. Everybody loves Bam. He's a young, up and coming star. Got multiple belts in different weight classes. Well, he ended up winning his fight. He beat what's the guy name? I think his name's Kamara, I think his name was. Anyway, he ended up beating him. I think in the 10th round, he ended up knocking him down in the 10th round to retain his belts. So I'm still interested to see where Bam goes from here. I think they trying to steadily move him up so we can get him versus
Anyway,
anybody. So we'll see with him. You know what I'm saying? Because the kid is skillful. He's really good. And I'm just interested to see where they go with him next. So, and then of course we had the Manny Pacquiao fight and Mario Barros. Like I told y'all before, Manny Pacquiao ain't stupid. He came and picked Mario Barrios for a reason. You see, he ain't try to get in there with no boots or no Brian Norman Jr. None of them guys that are young, fast, and they can move around on them. He picked a guy who's kind of stationary. It was going, you know, he seen in Mario Barrios, he gave too much respect for Manny Pacquiao. He seemed like he was holding his punches. It looked like he didn't want to hurt. I don't know if he didn't want to hurt. He got too much respect for Manny Pacquiao that he didn't want to hurt him. I don't know if somebody got it in his ear, but I'm just saying I felt like he gave Manny Pacquiao way too much, cushion, and Manny Pacquiao, credit to him, took advantage of that, and I felt like he won the fight. I felt like he won this fight, and they called it a draw, which is egregious. I had Manny Pacquiao winning like 8 rounds to 4. So I don't know what they do next. I don't know if they're trying to get a part two out of this, and then I don't know. Mario Barrios comes back in the second fight and just whoops the hell out of Manny Pacquiao. I don't know. I don't know if Manny Pacquiao, if they just finally say bump it, let's get the Manny Pacquiao win, and then we'll get him and Floyd. Uh, but we'll see. We'll see. If I was Floyd Mayweather, I might even call and say, "Hey, I'll beat the hell out of Mario Barrios and get the belt."
yeah, man. I would say this. I agree with you. I think he did hold some stuff back, but I was kind of impressed with Manny Pacquiao being at the age he was and the movement he still had. He did get hit with a lot of punches. I think Manny's known for that. You know what I mean? Just with his aggressive style, like he's just gonna get hit. But I think at his age and being his first fight in a very long time, I thought he looked really impressive. You know what I mean? You can tell he has some rust as far as like being reactionary with some of the punches that most of the time I feel like he would be able to dodge. I think he still has the head moving. I still think he has the speed. He was giving him some work, so I was impressed. Obviously, the big conversation right now is obviously, will that Floyd Mayweather situation happen? I don't know. I'm not going to hold my breath with that, especially on the Floyd Mayweather side. Maybe he might do it. Obviously there's going to have to be a lot of money involved for that conversation to even spark up. I think the conversation at least has to start at 100 mil. You know what I mean? But will this fight even garner that much? I don't know. Maybe. You know what I mean? I know nostalgia always plays a big part in situations like that. Obviously, you made a great assessment when we kind of talked about it off camera with the whole Mike Tyson situation. How many people love to see Mike back in the ring, even though me and you in hindsight, we were a little like, we don't want to see get hurt like that, especially him coming out with a knee brace. But but I think after seeing Manny, I think Floyd still keeps himself in a great shape as well. We see him, especially he's still kind of like mentors, Shakur and all that, and some younger fighters. You kind of see him still in the gym with some videos and stuff like that. I think both of those guys would be in really good shape. So I don't think it would be in a situation where you would fear having anybody getting hurt, especially with the kind of style Floyd is. So it would definitely be interesting to see. We just got to see if it will play out. I think it's more of a pipe dream than anything else. I would think we would probably see a rematch of this fight more than we would see the Mayweather fight. But hey, money talks, and the Turk out here throwing the bag out at everybody. So we shall see. I think another fighter that I think we should get a lot of praise is Gary Russell Jr. I
Yeah,
thought he looked amazing. I thought he looked amazing, especially obviously he was going through a lot of situations. He stepped away from boxing and all that, so pressure to his family and all that. But my God, my God, Gary Russell might have had the best performance the whole boxing weekend. Minus Usyk, but that he put on the show. I ain't gonna lie, the precision, the power, the speed. That boy, hey man, we all knew what Gary Russell was. I just think it was just kind of a question of like, what would he look like, especially with everything that was going on with his family and him being gone for a little bit. Man, he came out and he roared, man. So Gary Russell, salute, my brother. Hopefully, a lot of people paid attention to that because that boy's scary, man. You got to keep your eye on Gary Russell, man, for sure.
Yeah, I forgot about the Gary Russell thing. Because my thing would always been with Gary Russell was his activity. He was never like
Yeah.
he would not be active. You know what I'm saying? He would fight one fight, and then I always felt like he kept chasing because he lost to Loma. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? He lost that
yeah,
one fight to Loma, and that, he was supposed to be the heavy favorite because that was like one of his like fourth fights when he fought Gary Russell Jr. And Gary
hmm,
Russell was one of the top 135s at that time,
yeah,
130.
hmm,
And so, Loma beats him, and it was just like, he kept chasing that fight, and he was just like, he would fight one fight, and then he tried to get Loma, and Loma was like, "Nah, I ain't fighting you no more, man. I already
yeah, yeah.
beat you.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
already beat you, dog. I ain't about to do it again." Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was just kind of unfortunate. And then, like you said, the situation with it, I think one of his brothers died, and
and his bad dad, his
his
dad and
dad
brothers.
died.
Yeah,
And then he's been coaching his other brothers boxing because they're all of them are named Gary Russell.
mhm, yeah,
But the other one is Gary Antoon Russell. So he's been coaching him and helping him, you know what I'm saying? Antoon is pretty good, you know what I'm saying? Like he puts
yeah,
on a good, he's got a belt too. So he's
mhm,
he's pretty good I think he's at 140. But yeah, man, it's just, it's good to see Gary Russell because I tell you right now, Floyd is fast. I've seen a lot of fast. Roy was fast, but I think Gary Russell probably had one of the fastest combinations I've seen in a round ever.
yeah, bro. And they were precise too. It wasn't like
Not
those.
not
Those were.
even in this fight. I'm talking about like before he like
Yeah, yeah, no, no. I
stepped
know what you
away.
mean. I know what you mean. Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it
yeah.
was
I know
one.
what you
I
mean.
forgot who he was fighting, but he had a combination in the round where I swear he hit the dude like 100 times.
Crazy.
in
Like,
like 2 seconds. It was like,
yeah,
like
yeah,
God.
yeah. He's ultra talented. He's ultra
Yeah.
talented. Now, obviously, with Loma being retired, he doesn't have to chase that no
Yeah,
more.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that, whatever demon that was that he was trying to chase, it's over. Like, hopefully, he
Hmm.
can be at peace with that situation. I know he'll probably still be disappointed that he didn't get that win, but at the end of the day, that's not gonna be the big. That's not going to be the story of your career. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just going to be a moment. But at the end of the day, I think he has an opportunity to do greater things if he stays, as you said, if he stays active, because he has the talent in the world to be up there with the best. Like he really
Hmm.
does. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of will he stay consistent in being in that ring and get that moment that he wants to strive for. So I'm definitely gonna keep my eye out on Gary Russell, man. I'm glad to see him back in the ring. I'm glad with that performance. He looked very, 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 very great. So hopefully we can see a great matchup with him next up. He can get a bigger fight.
Yeah, man. Like I wouldn't mind seeing him in Lamar Rose.
I would not. I would not at all. I think that fight would be amazing.
That'd be a good
Ultra
fight.
skilled, ultra
Hmm.
tough guys, gritty guys, who are willing to stand in the ring, and that could potentially be fight of the year. That
Hmm.
could potentially be fight of the year for sure. For sure.
All right, man. Let's go to NFL news, man.
Oh, you didn't want to talk about Layla? Layla?
Oh
No.
yeah, we can talk about that real quick. Look, you know how I feel about this, man. I don't want to see Layla Ali coming out of retirement after 18 years of inactivity. Like, look, I don't know what her daily regimen. Maybe she gets in the ring and she spars and
Yeah.
she beats up, local male women and office managers in the sparring match. I don't know.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, in boxing, you can't play it. There ain't no simulation. There ain't no, I could just run some routes on my own and go play, or I could shoot the basketball 100 times, and hey, I can at least shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can
Mhm.
spot me up, baby. I can shoot. No, you got to box, and you got to get hit. You
Yeah.
got to feel that,
Yeah.
and she's 47, so whatever speed and they say power never leaves you, and I get all that, but the timing and speed and reactionary, all that stuff, that gets slower as you get older. And Clarissa is at the height. She fights next week. She probably
Yeah.
gonna beat the hell out of whoever she fight next week. No disrespect to the girl. Maybe you go in there, punch a chance, but we expect you to Clarissa to beat the hell out of the girl next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you want to come in. This will be straight up a money grab, and this is a lose-lose situation for Clarissa. This is a win situation for Layla because her legacy will not get diminished because of this. Because all everybody's going to
Nah.
say is she hasn't fought in 18 years. She's 47 years old. We get why she lost.
And she made $15
Yeah,
million.
and she made $15 million off of losing to you.
Yeah.
You have everything to lose in this. One, if you lose, oh, Do you know how much they're gonna tear your ass up,
Yeah,
Clarissa?
Remy Ma about to have a field day on that mic.
She gonna have a live stream.
Oh,
After the
facts,
fight.
bro. Facts, bro. Remy about to have a field day.
You got whooped by a 47-year-old. Maybe I should get in the ring with you.
Facts. Nah, I don't know if she still do that. Like Remy needs to chill, but
I
Remy
know.
need to chill.
I'm just
She-
saying. I'm just,
Remy, no
I
chill.
can see her jumping out the window and saying some stuff like
Yeah, I
that.
can see her saying some shit. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? Let's not do this. All right, Clarissa, I get it. She said some stuff in the past. It extends from an interview she did on the Breakfast Club where they asked her coming out. It was like probably 5-6 years ago. I don't know how long it was, but she was just like, "Will you ever come out of retirement?" She was like, "I don't see nobody worth me coming out." And it was like, okay, she feels like that. She has a right to feel like that. She's Layla Ali. Sorry, Clarissa. Like,
It's levels, yeah. It's levels.
and at that time, you wasn't fighting at the weight that you're fighting right now. So it's just like
Yeah,
it is what it is, man. Like,
yeah.
and you mad about that? Like, you the best. You are the best women boxer in your era. I know it's not a lot of competition, and it's not your fault. Sometimes it's just not your fault. Like,
You're
you
just
just
that
fighting.
great. You're just that
Yeah,
great.
it's just you fight in the era where you're head and shoulders above everybody. You know what I'm saying? And people will diminish your legacy, but you can't help when you fight. You just can't. Like,
Nah.
you can't be like, well, let me get into a time machine or a portal and fast forward me to some good competition. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You gotta fight when you fight, and you gotta beat the opponents that they put in front of you. I know a lot of people they do this in boxing. Oh, she fought a bunch of plumbers and mailmen and all. That ain't their problem. I just get in front of the people that they put in front of me, man. And if they considered one of the best in the world, hey, I want to fight the best.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Certain weight classes deal with this in the men's side. You know what I'm saying? People think that probably that 130 to 147 or 154 is the sweet spot for boxing right now. 168 and up, probably not so much. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it is what it is.
How would you feel if she took a tune-up fight and she looked really good, and then they try to set it up for next year?
She would have to look damn good. Like she'd have to go in there and beat the hell out of the person.
Yeah. What if that happens? Let's say like she goes in there and she looks a little rusty in the beginning, but she gets her feet burned and she knocks him out 6-7 rounds.
And it's a quality opponent.
Yeah, decent opponent. Like
Then
obviously not on the
I'll
same.
be like, all right, I want to see it. I want to see it.
I think
I still will have Clarissa winning, but I'll be like, all right.
I would say this. If they're really considering doing this, if they really do have the $15 million, like hey, let's still gotta make sure that's real $15 million check. That shit look a little sketchy to me. But hey, anyways, by win records, I'm like, what win records? I'm like, anyways. If that $15 million is real and that check is real, and Layla Ali is strongly considering it, I would want her to go the route of taking a tune-up fight first. Don't go heads in to Clarissa. Even whether she looks a little rusty or not, I think it'll still be good for her. I think she'll still win whatever fight she gets, because obviously they're going to set it up to the point where it's like it's going to be a quality opponent, but it's not going to be anybody that's going to put a lot of fear into maybe her getting seriously hurt or even losing the fight, because obviously they do want to make this matchup. Right. But again, as I said, I'm not really too sure that's a real $15 million. I'm not really sure.
You're not sure? You think it's fake? You think
but look, man, we shall see. We shall see if it is real and everything goes a route. Then hopefully, she takes her time and does a little tune-up fight. So
yeah, for sure. Shout out to if they can get it done. Hey, shout out to Layla for getting $15 million regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, on me.
All right, man. Let's go to the NFL, dog. There's a lot of stuff going on. Training camp is starting this week. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it started for some other teams, but most of the other teams are reporting this week. You going to any Raiders training camp practice?
No, I am not. No, not in this heat, bro. Sorry. Maybe like honestly, Like honestly, I know they usually have the one at the stadium. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We'll see. It depends if I'm free. I'm not gonna go out my way to go to it because it's just a practice. But I am going to some games this year. That is for sure.
Well, some players got paid this leading up to training camp. Mr. TJ Watts, He got paid a 3 year extension worth $123 million, 108 fully guaranteed. That's 41 million a year, which makes him the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL with a signing bonus of 40 million. Uh, I don't think we are both in the consensus. This is well deserved. TJ Watt is probably he's top three pass rushers, defensive line, or he's I know he's a considered a linebacker, but pass rushers, you know what I'm saying, on the edge rushers, he's top three. It's probably him, Miles Garrett, and Max Crosby, put Nick Bosa in there, one of the two, whatever your flavor, you know what I'm saying. And Sauce Gardner, he got paid too, making him the highest paid corner in the NFL. He got a 4 year extension worth 120.4 million, which is 31.1 annually, making him the highest paid corner. He got a total 85.5 million guaranteed, 13.75 signing bonus. I think the consistency is,
Damn, that sucks.
what?
Malcolm Jamar Warner passed away.
What?
Yeah, accidental drowning.
Oh, snaps.
Oh yeah, barbershop. Yeah, shout out to barbershop. They kind of told us in the chat. I didn't see it. Damn. Yeah. Sorry to break through, but unfortunately, we got bad news. Breaking news: Malcolm Jamal Warner, known Cosby Show. Unfortunately, he passed away at the age of 54 from an accidental drowning. TMZ has reported. So,
Man.
damn, that sucks, man. Prayers out, man. Malcolm Jamal Warner was a big part of our culture. Being a part of a lot of things and stuff like that, man. Man, that sucks, man. That really dampens the day, man, for real, man. So prayers out to his family and everybody, friends, colleagues, the whole community, man. I really enjoyed watching him and his acting career, man. Everything he's done, man. So prayers out to his family.
Yeah, for sure, man. Damn, that's sad to hear, man.
Yeah,
From the Cosbys to Malcolm and Eddie to
yeah,
you know a lot of other stuff that he's done, man. It's sad to hear that, man.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. Prayers.
Prayers to his family for sure. Um, of course, George Karlaftis, Chiefs defensive end, which was surprising the deal he got. But after you see the numbers, it was not bad. But he got a 4 year extension, 93 million, 62 million of it guaranteed. Um, and then some injuries. Will Levis, Mr. Mayonnaise, he's out for the season. Had a shoulder injury, had to get surgery on it, so he is out for the season. So he'll probably be on another team next year. I expect him not to be with the Titans next year, especially if Cam Ward balls out, which me and Maul expect him to do this season.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's rookie of the year. But yeah, I think that this is probably the end of not the end of his career, but the end of him in the Titans jersey.
Yeah.
um, Noah Fant got released from the Seahawks, so I'm pretty sure there will be some suitors out there. We all thought Noah Fant because he comes from that Iowa, and I don't know what it was for a period of time. Iowa was turning out tight ends like crazy. So
George Kittle, yeah, all
Sam
them cats,
Laporta, like
yeah. They were tight end. They were tight end you for sure.
yeah, they was turning him out. So
Yeah.
Noah Fant, he was an athlete. So we
Hmm.
thought that okay. And when he was on Denver, we was like, oh man, Noah Fant on Denver, here we go. And then, but he never really panned out for whatever reason. He was better with the Seahawks, but just wasn't the guy that we thought he was going to be. So I'm pretty for sure he'll get picked up somewhere. And then Detroit has some bad news with their defensive end. Levi, I'm not gonna say his last name because I don't know how to say it, but he's out for the season. ACL tear had to get surgery, so I'm pretty for sure they'll be in the market for a defensive end. Don't be surprised if somebody like a Matthew Judon gets signed, or one of those veteran defensive ends gets signed over there. So,
Hmm.
and then of course we got news about Rashee Rice. He ended up pretty much taking a probationary deal. Where's it at? So he pleaded guilty to two third-degree felonies uh, for the hit and runs and the hit and run that he did on March 30th. in 2024. So he has 5 years probation, and he has to do 30 days in jail. But the consensus is that if he stays clean in the 5 year within the 5 year probationary, that they'll dismiss the case and he won't have to do the 30 days, because he can do the 30 days anytime he wants to. So he can wait till his 5th year of probation and be like, all right, I'll go to jail for 30 days. Like, he can do it like that. So I think that he struck up a plea deal. I know that he has to all together in his civil suits. He settled for $1.1 million. Plus, he has to pay like $100,000 some odd dollars for their medical bills and all that stuff. So they're gonna chop up that $1 million and give it out to all the people that he hit. You know what I'm saying, or victims in the hit and run. So he settled out of court. So we're just sitting back waiting for what the NFL say. I've heard 2 to 4. I've heard 5 to 7. So we'll see. We'll see what they say.
Yeah, it's about time, man. Like, cause we've been waiting on this forever. You know what I mean? Like, look, I'm sure Rashee Rice is a good brother, but he made a bad mistake. At the end of the day, obviously the NFL is always going to wait. Real talk, the NFL was always going to wait until the legal process was over. The legal process is over. I personally, I think it's going to be in the range of like 4 to 6 games. That's what I think it's going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 6 and then maybe it gets reduced down to 4 or whatever, depending on whatever situation happens. But we'll see what's up. I would expect it will probably get announced sometime during training camp. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe hear something maybe this week with Rashee Rice, especially with training camps opening. So I think the Chiefs are mentally preparing that they're not going to have Rashee Rice at least for the first month of the season. So I think that would be a obviously when we get more into the regular season, how we think these records are going to play. I'm sure we'll do our section where what record we think each team is going to have by the end of the year. I think we'll obviously have to heavily put that on the Kansas City Chiefs as far as like what they have as far as on their schedule. As far as like everything else, TJ Watt is not surprising. I think it was going to come at the end of the day. So the Steelers have no excuses. You got your quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, you got your receiver in DK Metcalf, you got your top player in TJ Watt. Everybody should be happy. Everybody's in training camp. Everybody's healthy. Yes, this team is a little bit older. They did add a couple pieces of depth on that Pittsburgh Steelers side. Obviously, you got Jalen Ramsey, you got Darius Slay. So this team is going to be ready for battle. Now, can Aaron Rodgers be the key for them? Obviously, they played with some subpar QB talent and made it to the playoffs and been 500 and all that. What can Aaron Rodgers realistically do in a tough division that this division is really going to be? I know we have a lot of questions with the Bengals in that defense, but that offense is going to be probably one of the best offenses we've seen in a very long time. You know what I mean? We all know what the Baltimore Ravens are. And then the Browns could be kind of sneaky good. Let's not act like they don't have talent. I think the main question with that team is who's going to play quarterback for that team. But as far as talent, I think they match up with every other team in that division, me personally, especially on the defensive side. Like, they got probably the best defensive player in the league. You know what I'm saying? So, and then offensively, they're not that bad. I think David Njoku is a top tight end. You got some young talent. Obviously, the Quinshawn Junkins thing is pretty much it's not good. It's not good right now. It's not good right now. So I think that could have some effect, especially in their backfield. But I think you still got Jerome Ford. I think Jerome Ford is really solid. So
didn't they draft another running back?
I
know they drafted somebody.
I think they probably did. They probably did. I could look it up, but yeah. So it should be interesting. I think another key thing, especially this hurts for my team, they put Christian Wilkins on the pup list, so he's not going to play. I don't think he's going to probably play all this year, especially with that foot. It's not really looking good for this Christian Wilkins signing. Obviously, I had a lot of high hopes with him. I think he's a talented player, but it just seems like he's a broken player right now with the Raiders. So I'm not really happy about that. Hopefully he can have a speedy recovery. Hopefully there might be a slim chance he might be able to play sometime this year, especially for in playoff contention, but we'll have to see. Obviously I think another big story as far as like NFL news, I think obviously, everybody was kind of waiting on these second round picks to start signing. Seems like everybody's signing, Beck signed, Trey from the Chargers signed. I don't know, your second round pick, he signed. So it seems like everybody's getting ready to line in. I think currently right now, the big story right now is Terry McLaurin. Obviously, there is a report that Terry McLaurin is considering all avenues, even maybe potentially trade. Um, I think it's pretty sad that we're in this direction with the Commanders. It seemed like the Commanders had all the good mojo. You got a new ownership who has a lot of money. I do not understand for the life of me why the Commanders are dragging this thing out. If anybody deserves any amount of money, even more than Jaden Daniels, is Terry McLaurin. He's been through a lot with this organization. He's had this organization back, even through the Daniel Snyder days and all that type of stuff, and the amount of BS he had to go through with this organization. This
Mm-hmm.
organization needs to do right by him. I hope Jaden Daniels is in that. I get Jaden Daniels is doing his thing with Juju right now and his mama, but hopefully he can, when he gets back into camp this week, hopefully he talks to that GM, hopefully he talks to that ownership, and he tells them, I need my guy, get the deal done, or I'm going to have a problem with this situation. And that's the person you don't want to piss off. So look, get it done. Terry McLaurin deserves to get his bread. He's been through everything with that franchise, and on top of that, he had a great year last year. It's not like his production went down; his production actually went up. So let's not be fools in this situation.
Yeah, for sure. I don't understand that. Um, I will speak to the Sauce Gardner situation. His contract, I do think that heavily affects Trent McDuffie's deal. I think that that's the person that's probably gonna have to get paid next. He's looking at, I think he waited for Sauce, Derek Stingley Jr., and all those guys, so he can come to the table and say, "Hey, now we know where we got to settle at." You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? We know the market 30.
mhm,
I
yeah,
need that because, yeah, those dudes may be on their list. They might be better than me in as far as the top 10, but I got two Super Bowl rings players. So, and I got all pros. So, I need my money. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? So, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get something done before camp is over. Maybe in the 6 year range. And then also, they could wait because they know the figure is not going to go up. No corner is going to set another market outside of Sauce Gardner. So,
no, no,
it's just like, he could wait. The Chiefs could wait, whatever. They could wait till some guys get off the books next year and then pay him next year. They could do
yeah,
that because they still have 2 year control because they still have the fifth year option, and they can franchise tag him if they wanted to go that route too. But I think they want to get the deal done now so they can have him while he's still in his youth. So
yeah.
that would
And
be
then
something.
and then the other running back they drafted was Dylan Sampson, the cat from Tennessee,
Okay, see,
the
yeah.
Browns.
So they
Yeah,
they covered their bases with another rookie run back, and I like Dylan Sampson. I thought he was really good at Tennessee. So, um, another news, some bad news is the NFLPA. Oh boy,
yeah,
some crazy stuff going on down here. So Lloyd Howe Jr. stepped down as executive director. Uh, he was appointed in 2023, uh, including an ongoing FBI inquiry into licensing company One Team Partners, a consulting relationship with Carlisle, and allegations of misuse of union funds, such as strip club charges, reported by ESPN. So he was wilding out there in Magic City.
yeah,
$2,000 on the company card, man,
yeah,
and he wasn't getting the wings.
yeah,
He was getting some other wings.
yeah.
But also, we heard today J.C. Treader resigns as chief strategy officer. He also was cited for internal discord, organizational strain, and personal priorities as factors behind his resignation. Multiple reports highlight that the executive committee have preferred David White over Howell, with Trotter playing a controversial role in Howell's initial selection. So it looks like Treader was the one who voted for Howell. He was the deciding factor, and they wanted the David White guy. So I would expect David White probably will be the new executive guy now because that was the guy they originally wanted. We'll see. Maybe they, do another vote, whatever. But it's a big mess, man, for the NFLPA, man. When you got the top people misusing the funds and doing all, and these players, we could all agree, the NFLPA has one of the worst PAs. Like their union is terrible to me. Like compared to basketball, compared to baseball,
Oh no, it's not even close. It's not even close. They're the worst one.
like,
They're the
like
worst
they're,
ones.
they're the worst. Like I was watching a podcast the other day, and they had a baseball player on there, and no matter what they do, they're fine. They don't go over $499. Anything they do, their fine is $499.
Yeah. But
You
see,
do you do one bad thing with the NFL, and they fine your ass $1,000 at the minimum.
it's more than that.
Yeah.
Like, look, man, like the thing, the difference with a lot of these players in the NBA, MLB, and NHL is they're willing to sit out games to get what they want. NFL players, let's be honest, they pucker up and then they like, nah, we need to play. We need this bread. We need this. We need that. You know what I mean? Like, y'all never gonna get anything. Like, at the end of the day, you didn't even talk about the whole situation when the NFL owners were colluding to not give players guaranteed contracts, and NFLPA swept that under the rug.
Yeah.
So I don't care who you put in this position. The NFLPA is in a bad position right now. There is no trust amongst players. There's no trust amongst ownership and players. The next CBA is going to be really, really interesting because at the end of the day, you got all these players who are mad about certain fines. The situation with them potentially trying to go to 18 games. You're telling us one thing that you worry about health, but you want us to play more games. Obviously, the situation of them adding more days of the week with games. You had a situation where teams had less than 4 days to get ready for a game on a Wednesday. I think your Chiefs had to play how many games in the span of 2-3 weeks? They had to play.
There's 3 games in 11 days.
Insanity.
It wasn't. It was Chiefs, Texans, Ravens,
and it was all big games. It was all big games. But you're screaming. We care about health. We care about this. But that's the issues you're gonna have when you're NFLPA and your players aren't strong enough to stand firm in what you believe in. I'm like, what's the point of y'all having a union if y'all going to get pimp slapped every time y'all go into negotiations? That is the reality in the situation. I don't care what any NFL player feels like with somebody saying this to their face because it's the reality of the situation. You guys put yourself in this problem. You guys put yourself in a situation where you're getting your money taken away from you. You don't get guaranteed contracts like you probably should, especially with the dangers in this game. You already have players who complain that y'all had to literally fight to get benefits for the rest of y'all career. Y'all barely got that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, what are we talking about with this situation? This next CBA is going to say a lot about what the strength within this players association really is. Are y'all going to stand and fight? Yes, you're going to have fans complaining and moaning because, we want to see football players be on that field. We want our Sundays. We want our Mondays. We want our Thursdays. And I get it. That is pressure because you don't want to alienate the fans. But at the end of the day, you got to fight for what you believe in, bro. These are your bodies. This is your livelihood that you guys are putting on not us. Yeah, we can be mad because we ain't getting our Sundays, but that's more of a luxury than anything else for us. At the end of the day, you guys got to fight for you and what you guys really need to fight for. Are you guys willing to sit out games? Are you guys willing to lose checks to actually get what you want? Because these owners call your bluff every single time. And you know what happens when it comes to the chicken game? Y'all the first ones to hit that level. You know what I'm saying? So, the players, this is a real wake-up call for these players. What are you willing to sacrifice to be able to help strengthen the NFLPA and the stance that you guys have within your own league? Without these players, the owners don't make nothing. That is the reality of the situation. You guys need both of each other. Use the power and leverage that you have. But I get it. It's tough. You got a lot of players who are on the bottom of that list who need bread, who need to make money. But again, I think NIL could be the key liar in this because you have a lot of players who are now making money in the college ranks. Maybe this gets the NFL players to be a little bit stronger and making their stance and be like, I'm not going to be desperate for this bread because I'm making the money. I made my money in college a little bit where I can sustain not being able to make some change for the next month or two going into the season and have a stronger stance. That's the only way anything's going to change with the NFL Player Association. But at the end of the day, it has to start from within because from within, it looks like it's a rotten mess at this point. And so build that up. I don't know when the next CBA talks are going to start happening. I don't know when the deal expires for their next one. But it's going to be interesting, man. It's really going to be interesting. And these players, they got to find a way to actually come together from the top tier talents that are getting paid to whoever's on that practice squad. Like, y'all need to come together and have some real conversations for this next collective bargaining agreement, whenever that date is, and make a stance on what you guys really, really need and what you really, really want from these owners. And if you can stand your ground, I think you can get some of the stuff that you are requesting, because I don't think y'all asking for nothing crazy. I think y'all just asking for what y'all generally deserve to have. But you guys got to be willing to fight for it, and you guys got to be willing to sacrifice for it. And until then, you guys are going to be dealing with the same mess, and it's just going to keep getting worse and worse as it goes.
Yeah, yeah. They said that they're gonna expect to announce the interim director tomorrow. And of course, the lead is David White, and another one is Don Davis. So those are the two.
I think for me personally, you got to clean house. You got to clean house, man, because I don't care who you are. It's just, I don't think it's going to be hard to trust anybody that's leading the way for the NFLPA. I think they need to clean house. I think they really do. But do these players have the balls and the cojones to actually make a stance? That is the question. That's been their problem all along.
Yeah, we shall see. I'm trying to see when this CBA expires. All right, we're gonna do a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Introduce yourself to Magnet, the ultimate sports drink. Are you ready to take your performance to the next level? Do you want a sports drink that eliminates the muscle cramps and fatigue when working out or training? Meet Magnet, the sports drink designed for athletes who refuse to settle for mediocrity. It's power-packed electrolytes and rehydrates and restores balance with their scientifically formulated blend with magnesium that fights fatigue and boosts endurance. It has natural ingredients made with real fruit extracts and no artificial colors or flavors, because your body deserves the best. It has delicious flavors like mixed fruit and watermelon that keep you revitalized and ready for action. It will boost your performance with essential vitamins and minerals. Magnet fuels your workouts, helping you crush your goals. Join the Magnet movement, whether you're training, competing, or simply staying active. Magnet is your go-to refreshment for peak performance. You can order it now on our direct link at drinkmagnet.com. Also, use promo code Cris and Mal to get $5 off your purchase. So don't wait. Again, that promo code is Cris and Mal to get $5 off your purchase. Get Magnet, push your limits, fuel your passion.
Shout out to Manny Sports Drink. All right, Mom. Bleacher Report put out a top 100 basketball players of all time. I was not about to read this whole goddamn list, so I'm going to give you the top 20.
Okay.
Number 20, they had Dr. J. Number 19, they had the Admiral David Robinson. Number 18, they had Dirk Nowitzki. Number 17, they had Jokic. Number 16, they had KG. 15, they had the logo, Jerry West. Number 14, they had Oscar Robinson. 13, Kevin Durant. 12, Akeem the Dream. 11, Kobe Bryant. 10, Steph Curry. 9, Wilt Chamberlain. 8, Larry Bird. 7, Tim Duncan. 6, Shaq. 5, Bill Russell. 4, Magic. 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 2, LeBron. And number 1, the GOAT, MJ. I know you have a Discord because your favorite player is at 11. So the floor is yours, sir. Go ahead. Have at it.
Listen here, bro. I'm gonna try to make this as quick and sweet as possible. It is clinically insane. Like, I don't understand where this discourse is coming from with all this Kobe hate. Like, you get a lot of these former players who used to be on Kobe's nutsack, and then the moment he passes away, and then kind of like the moratorium of people being sad about his loss. I think people are still saddened by his loss, but the overall effects of it is not as heavy as it used to be. I think we've all kind of come to grips that Kobe is just no longer here. I think it's kind of insanity. Like, you're seeing like Jeff Teague, you're seeing cats on the Gilbert Arenas show. Like, now you're even hearing Shaq saying some like, oh, if like I played with T-Mac, like T-Mac had some kind. It kind of all started with T-Mac, and then now you got T-Mac. Now you got Shaq saying that if he played with T-Mac, he probably could have won like 6. But in reality, you had Penny Hardaway, and you got swept by the Houston Rockets, Hakeem Olajuwon, who was probably a better center than you, who dominated you. No offense to Shaq, but that is the reality of the situation. He smoked you with that squad. And you're trying to tell me you could have won 6 without Kobe? That's the reality. You didn't win anything until Kobe got on your goddamn team. That is the reality of the situation. Were you dominant? Yes, you were. But there were a lot of games, a lot of key moments where Kobe saved your behind in those key moments. Pacers series. We're not talking about certain San Antonio series. We're not going to talk about certain Sacramento Kings series. Yes, you had dominant numbers because the talent you were kind of going up against in certain finals, barbecue chicken, Rick Smiths, that's your competition. Vlade Divac, that's like no disrespect to those guys, but you are clearly more dominant than that. But the reality of this situation is you're trying to tell me Kobe Bean Bryant, who won 5 championships on the same team, who also led a team who had Derek Fisher, Andrew Bynum, Pau Gasol, Sasha Vujacic, all these teams. That's what we're doing. He should have been more than one time. He should have been more than one MVP. He had 2 MVP finals. He had 18 All-Stars, 12-time defensive players, and a 2-scoring champion. And you're trying to tell me Steph Curry is above this man? That's what you're telling me? You're telling me Steph Curry is better than Kobe Bean Bryant? No disrespect to Steph, but let's call a spade a spade. He wasn't even better. He wasn't even the best player on his championship teams probably 3 out of the 4 times. Kevin Durant twice. Andre Iguodala once. Like, what are we talking about? No disrespect to Steph. Steph was a key contributor. But when it came to the big moments, what was the big conversation with Steph Curry? He couldn't hit the big moments. The Boston Celtics series was kind of like his coming out party with that situation. He was the best player. He had all the key moments. He didn't have no one to lean on. It was pretty much Steph Curry or bust for that squad. And he came through. Respect. Tip your cap off. Steph Curry should be in the top 10, but he shouldn't be higher. Kobe not being in the top 10 is the most sacrilegious thing in the world. Larry Bird, Kobe Bryant Bean. I'm sorry to you Boston Celtics fan. Kobe Bean Bryant is better than Larry Bird. Sorry. He had a deep squad when he came into the league. And then on top of that, longevity obviously counts. He hurt his back, unfortunately, so he wasn't able to have an extended career. The same things you guys want to punish Kobe for. He played with Shaq. Okay, who did Tim Duncan have when he first got into the league? He had Mario Elie. He had Robert Horry. He had David Robinson. You had the best coach in the league. What are we talking about? And then on top of that, when you transition out of David Robinson, who then you did have? You had Tony Parker. You had Manu Ginobili. You had Kawhi Leonard. You had Robert Horry again. You had Boris Diaw. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? So we're not going to punish Tim Duncan. We're not going to punish Magic Johnson. We're not going to punish Larry Bird. We're not going to punish LeBron James. But we're going to punish Kobe. We're not going to punish Steph, but we're going to punish Kobe. Y'all got it. Come on, man. What are we talking about, man? The disrespect to Kobe Bean Bryant is out of this world. Out of this world. For y'all to sit here and tell me Kobe Bean Bryant should not be at least top 5. At least top 5. I do not care that his game mirrors Michael Jordan. I do not care at all. But you cannot sit here and tell me Kobe Bean Bryant was not at least top 6 player of all time, but not to be in the top 10 at all? Come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? Use your 2 eyes. This is the problem with people because we live in this microwave society where people tend to forget who Kobe Bean Bryant actually was. He was that dude. He was that dude that everybody feared. You had all these players thinking like, oh, I'm the Kobe stopper, and then go bust a butt for 41. This is the same player who scored 81 points. This is the same player who stayed with the team and won 2 championships without Shaq. He won 3 with Shaq. And you're trying to sit here and tell me this man ain't top 10? This man was one of the most feared basketball players of all time. This man was one of the most skilled basketball players of all time. And you got idiots, and I like these guys, but you got idiots like Jeff Teague who are making these dumb statements talking about like, oh, man, you know what, with these defensive, he wasn't really the defensive guy. They just voted him because he was Kobe. Man, cut the crap, dog. Cut this bull BS stuff that you guys are continuously trying to say about Kobe Bryant, bro. I get it. You weren't a Kobe Bean Bryant watching fan. But he bust your ass every single time. Like, bro, like, cool with this cap, bro. Quit with this cap. And I'm not trying to disrespect Steph Curry, but let's call a spade, bro. He should not be higher than Kobe Bean Bryant. Then we can have the conversations about Shaq being, I don't think Shaq should be that high. Should Shaq be where was he at? Where's Shaq at? Where's Shaq?
6. He's number 6.
Shaq number 6. Okay. You got Shaq number 6. Very dominant player. Very dominant player. I hear you on that. Now, Shaq is definitely a top 10 player, but we could talk about that.
Are you putting Shaq over Tim Duncan? Are you putting Shaq over Larry Bird? Are you putting Shaq over Will Chamberlain?
Will Chamberlain, that's a conversation we can have. I like Will, but he was a very dominant player, but we got to realize the era that he played in. Like, you know, he did have a lot of great contests with Bill Russell and stuff like that, so I'm not going to disrespect him. He should definitely be top 10. I'm not saying Shaq should not be in the top 10. I can't be that mad at him at 6, but me personally, I would have Kobe ahead of him. I might have Tim Duncan. He's probably around the same range as Tim Duncan. Like, if you look at the statistics between Kobe and Tim Duncan, like, Kobe fared well, especially in the postseason against Tim Duncan.
Let's do this. So do you agree? Okay. You want Kobe in the top 5, right?
The least top 6. Top 5, top 6. At least.
So you moving everybody down?
So I would move Larry Bird down. Wilt will be top 10. Steph Curry's out the top 10.
So you would move Kobe to 6, Shaq down to 7, Larry Bird to 9.
Yeah, so I'll probably
at 10.
I would probably say in logistic, me personally, Kobe's number 2. But in reality, I'll probably put Kobe 6. I'll have Shaq 7. I'll have Kobe 6. I'll keep Bill Russell at 5. I'll keep Magic at 3.
He's at 4.
4.
Kareem is at 3.
I'll put Kareem at 3, LeBron at 2, and Mike at 1. I get it, because at the end of the day, do I think Kobe's a better player than LeBron? I do, but I will side with LeBron in this because of the longevity aspect. He's going to have more records. He's been in the game a lot longer. He has one championship less. We can get in finer details as far as like how he got those championships, but he got them championships. But I'll give him the toss up with the longevity, even though Kobe had a long career. Obviously, I think with the Achilles injury, it kind of dampened him a little bit. But as far as impact within the league, I think Kobe had a bigger impact than LeBron James had, especially amongst players. If you look at a lot of these players that are in the league now, you look at the Kyries, the Jason Tatums, and a lot of these the Devin Bookers, a lot of those guys, Zach LaVine's, like a lot of those guys took from Kobe. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure a little bit Anthony Edwards and stuff like that. Like you got to look at certain situations and just the impact that Kobe had. When you look at that Olympic team, when he came to the Olympic team and you watch that documentary, who had the biggest impact on that team? It was Kobe Bryant. It wasn't LeBron James. It wasn't Dwayne Wade. It wasn't anybody else. It was Kobe Bean Bryant. It wasn't Kevin Durant. It was Kobe Bean. He was one of the greatest leaders of all time. You may not have liked the way he led, but he got the job done.
Right.
You know what I mean? He got the job done. But I said, this is not to me to disrespect anybody's and I get it. These lists, you don't want to get too emotional about it because this is all personal preference at the end of the day. You can, like me personally, I said, if it's my personal preference, Kobe will be number 2 for me. But at the end of the day, I get it. There's a lot of factors going into these lists, but to me, it's more about the conversations that people are having with Kobe. And this just adds fuel to the fire of my annoyance with everything. Because it's like the disrespect is getting a little out of hand with Kobe Bean Bryant, because you like T-Mac was literally bawling tears when Kobe was passed away, and all the amount of respect when Kobe was alive. You said that, but now you want to get disrespectful, like, oh, if I was in Kobe's place, I could have did this, bro. You had your opportunity. You had Yao Ming. You had a top tier center in the league, and what did you do? You didn't win jack nothing. So what are we talking about? You know what I mean? It's not so much the list. It's more so just the disrespect of the conversation. Mm-hmm. It's really about that.
All right, buddy. Well, pretty much your discourse is pretty much just sliding Steph Curry down and putting Kobe at 6.
Yes, pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
And then everybody else just moves down.
Everybody just moves down. That's me personally. If I want to make a logistical list. Now, if it's just me personally, Kobe's number 2. Kobe's number 2. Greatest all time. Me personally. I have eyes. I saw what he did.
For sure, though. All right, man. It's time for Maul's favorite segment, Random News. It is now time for Maul's Random News.
My first time seeing that one. That one was cool. That one was cool. All right, so are you ready? My favorite topic. We usually do this on Wednesdays, but unfortunately, since we didn't have a show Wednesday, we're gonna do a little bit today. All right, man. So first up, we kind of talked about it. Terry McLaurin, he kind of made some reports that that he's willing to explore trades. You know what I mean? With everything going on, he's willing to hold out. He's willing to hold in. He's going to explore every option. What do you think will be the best option for Terry McLaurin, and how do you think this plays out?
The best option would be for Washington to just go ahead and sign him now because your quarterback is on a rookie deal.
Mm-hmm.
And you ain't got to spend that money in probably 3 years from now. So you can pay Terry McLaurin a 3-year extension, maybe even 4, make it, make the 4th year, optional. But yeah, you go ahead and pay Terry McLaurin because you want to get the best out of your young quarterback who showed that he might be a top 5, maybe even top 3 quarterback. And when the Patrick Mahomes and the Lamar Jacksons and the Josh Allens go away, he's going to be probably part of your future with him and C.J. Stroud and all these other young quarterbacks that are coming out. Cam Ward, whoever else, Bryce Young, there's a lot of young guys that are going to be coming after this tier of quarterbacks are gone, you know what I'm saying, or past their prime or whatever. So Washington, you need to do what y'all need to do. Y'all saw the excitement for the Commanders last year. You guys have been in the basement, especially in the NFC East. So y'all want that level of consistency. The Wizards ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need something up there. So the Mystics the best thing y'all got going, outside the Commanders, what they did past season. But yeah, man, I just think that go and get the deal done, man. Don't even overthink it. Pay the man. He's earned it every year. It's not like he just emerged out of nowhere because Jaden Daniels there. He's putting up 1,000 yards with trash at quarterback. So go ahead and pay that man so y'all can roll and maybe possibly meet the expectations that y'all got on yourselves this year. Because if y'all ain't got Terry McLaurin, y'all not winning that division.
How do you think it's going to play out?
I think they eventually pay him.
Think they pay him? You think they pay him before training camp starts?
Yeah, I think they pay him.
For sure. Next up, Ubisoft made some claims that putting microtransaction in single-player games like Assassin's Creed Shadows makes them more fun to play. They argue it's because players can progress more quickly if they pay for boosters. What are your thoughts? I know you are currently going back and forth with
Okay, what are they saying?
So you know how there's been conversations that people do not like microtransactions, in games. You know what I mean? Whether it's like, whether it's to, speed through a part, whatever, make your character unnaturally better, whatever the case may be. So they claim that putting microtransactions in single player games like Assassin's Creed Shadows makes them more fun to play because they argue it makes the players can progress more quickly if they pay for boosters.
You damn right. I've been paying for some boosters myself. Get my coin up. I was broke out here, man. I need to up my player. You know what I'm saying? Both characters. You know what I'm saying? Because that stuff costs money to upgrade them outfits and swords and stuff.
So your team microtransactions?
You damn right I am.
Wow.
Keep boosting us up, baby. It's not guaranteed that we gonna be better.
Yeah.
You still gotta fight these dudes, and they ain't easy.
Right. I hear you. Hey, man, to each his own. Next up, obviously the WNBA and its players are currently going through CBA negotiations. During the All-Star weekend, when they walked out getting ready for their game, WNBA players were wearing T-shirts that said, "Pay us what you owe us." Obviously, it sparked some conversations through right, left media, people in the middle. What are your thoughts? What do you think this situation is going to play out? And do you think the WNBA players should get paid a lot more?
I do think they should get paid a lot more. I think the game is elevated. I think there's way more competition in the league. Not to say there wasn't competition when, Cynthia Cooper and them was, of course they were. They were some of the better women, that laid the foundation. But I think this league is getting more and more competition, and there's more coming. There's more. This game is going to elevate it. You guys are expanding with new teams in the next 3 to 4 years. So, yeah. I think these women deserve it. You see these ladies, they're getting shoe deals now. Asia Wilson, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Sabrina Ionescu. Like, a lot of these women are getting their own shoes. Like, why not? Why not pay these girls? Now, I'm not sitting there saying they should get the NBA money because they're not there. They're just not, and they're not marketing wise, rating wise. The NBA is just way more global right now. But I think the WNBA is trending in the right direction with their fandom and the people that watch the WNBA. And I do think these women should get paid accordingly to what they're doing right now.
For sure. Next up, I think the biggest topic in pop right now is at a Coldplay concert, astronomer CEO Andy Byron was on a kiss cam, and unfortunately he got caught up with his colleague Kristen Cabot. Both of them are married. He eventually resigned. I think both of them eventually resigned from their positions. A couple questions with this for you, sir. Number one, what was your initial thoughts?
Idiot. Stupid.
Number two, what are some of the no cheat spots that you should take?
No, because I don't cheat. So I don't know why you're asking me that. I'm trying to get me caught up in there. What are you trying to do, man?
And number three, was there a way for them to play it out where they couldn't have gotten caught up?
Look, like I said, I'm not condoning no cheating over here, man. So don't try to put that on my jacket.
Good Christian man.
But if they had just stood still and not made a big deal of the situation, I'm not saying that they wouldn't have still got caught on camera, but it probably wouldn't have went as viral.
No.
To make the dude, I forgot the dude, the lead singer from Coldplay, he probably wouldn't have said, "Oh, you guys are obviously having an affair."
Yeah.
Like they just would have stood there. Now, look, I don't understand why you two, if y'all was trying to do your doings, why were y'all cuddled up? You're at a Coldplay concert in the out in the open. So obviously you didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
You were reckless. It's not like you was at some underground spot with some local band that you was like, oh, we just gonna take in some, this live band and watch the show. No, right. You went to a Coldplay concert. They are a nostalgic, popular band. And you went to a concert. That's like somebody going to a Bone Thugs and Harmony concert. Yeah. And being hugged up, and then let's look at the crowd, and then you surprised, like, oh, like, no, fool, what do you think you're doing?
Yeah. My thing with it is that obviously they tried to play it off because they brought the third wheel chick with them, so they were kind of already mentally preparing, like, yo, just in case we might have an alibi with old girl here, because if you didn't see the old girl that was next to him, you could tell she knew him because she was embarrassed as well as. But yeah, I agree with you. I think if they would just played it off, I think if he would have just gave her a kiss real quick and get him off the screen, I think this is a non-story. I think he gets away with it unless, somebody in the crowd kind of knew him. But overall, a lot of people don't know who the CEO of Astronomer is. A lot of people don't know who the CEO of United was until obviously that situation happened. A lot of people don't know who a lot of these CEOs are, like, because we don't really go out our way to find out who these people are unless something happens where they need to be put in public light. But yeah, man, they kind of folded, man. So Shorty, and then on top of that, let me ask you a question, because when you look at the pictures of his wife that he cheated on, she looked better than the side chick. So question for you: does the side chick need to look better than wifey for you?
I don't know, because I don't cheat, man. Why are you asking me these questions, man? What are you doing? I don't know.
All right, man. I'll leave you alone, man. My man. Hey, my man is a good Christian man. He doesn't do anything. This is just for conversation. Man. Just for conversation purposes. But we'll move on. We'll move on.
Hey. At your discretion, man.
I personally think she at least got to be on the same tier or maybe a little bit better. Because just in case things don't go your way, at least you got a bad one next to you still. You know what I mean? You can still got that. All right, next up. I don't cheat either. I don't condone cheating. I don't. Next up, don't do that. Next up, don't do that. Next up, Kevin Durant. He was on the Mind the Game pod and he made some comments. He said Kevin Durant doesn't think the small guards exist as much in the league anymore as starters unless you have a certain type of style of play. He says if you're 6 foot or 6'1" and you're not a bulldog like Davion Mitchell or Drew Holiday on the defensive side, or you're not an offensive savant like a Kyrie, I just can't see you having a big starting role. What are your thoughts on his comments, and do you agree?
Um, I don't know. I guess because there's not a lot of small guards, he has some validity to what he's saying. I do think you have to be one of the older, or maybe even both. You got to be at least a very good elite, or elite to very good two-way player, or very good to elite offense or defensive guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't not have something. You can't just be a small guard that just passing the basketball. You're not getting no playing time. So you got to have some type of quality. You got to be an asset to the team if you're gonna be a small guard.
Yeah, I could agree. Next up, Tracy Ellis Ross made some comments. Says she only packs 2 pairs of underwear when she travels and washes them in the hotel sink with shower gel. If your girl did this and you saw her do this, what would your thoughts be? And does this change your any thoughts with Tracy Ellis Ross?
Look, I'm sure Tracy Ellis Ross is a very nice lady. She wasn't my cup of tea, but whatever. But 2 pairs of drawers. It depends. Like, look, you got 2 pairs of drawers and you only gonna be somewhere for a few days. Okay, but if you're gonna be there for a whole week, that's nasty. That's disgusting.
Nasty. And with shower gel too, that's crazy. That's
at least
crazy.
Get some detergent and put it in there.
You might as well just go commando at that point, man. Just especially Tracy Ellis Ross, just go commando. Dudes aren't gonna really trip about that.
You gonna do the whole washing in the sink? Go get you some detergent from CVS, pour it in there, and then hand wash it like it all day.
Just call housekeeping; they can wash them for you. You know what I mean? You don't gotta do that too.
Staying at the nice hotels.
Yeah, for real. All right, next up, GTA 6 is expected to generate $2 billion within the first 24 hours of release. Convoy, I think he's one of the gaming writers who's very involved in everything, has predicted that the game will be priced at $80. I know some people were thinking it would be priced at $100, but it seems like it's gonna be priced at $80 upon release. What are your thoughts with that?
Yeah, sure. When it comes out in 2030, sure.
Come on, man. It's gonna come out next year, bro.
Okay.
It's gonna come out next year, bro.
We'll see.
You want to put a bet on it?
Yeah.
How much you want to bet? You want to bet like a burger or something?
Yeah, we can bet some food because I don't trust you, Rockstar. That's what it is, right?
Yeah, it's Rockstar.
Yeah,
I think I'll say this: if it comes out next year, I think we'll start seeing. I think when the end of the war game shows, I think we'll get another trailer or something of a magnitude where you can start seeing the rollout. Get the rollout. No, you're gonna get the rollout soon. I think you get the rollout
announcement. Yeah, we gotta work on some things. We gotta push it back.
Well, hopefully it comes out next year.
Batman 2 coming out before GTA 6.
All right, next up. It seems like Fox Sports has kind of got their early morning situation settled a little bit. Obviously, with all the Joy Taylor and them canceling some shows in the morning. It seems like Barstool Sports and Fox Sports are coming together, bringing personalities like Dave Portnoy and Big Cat to appear on FS1 daily programming, leading into Colin Cowherd at noon. Obviously Portnoy would also be a part of Big Noon Kickoff. What are your thoughts of them being?
Let me get this straight. You get rid of Craig Carton, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And you bring in David Portnoy. Yeah. That sounds like a winner right there.
They have a big following, you know what I mean? Obviously, they are.
He's a bum. That's what he is.
Yeah, they say a lot of radical stuff, you know what I mean? Obviously, they have their things going on. But it seems like it's heading in that direction. So obviously, I think they're trying to find someone comparable to like a Pat McAfee, somebody who has.
He's nothing of a Pat McAfee.
No, I'm not. I didn't say he was. I could see what they're trying to do. It seems like they're trying to find a competitor to go alongside Pat McAfee, because Pat McAfee is obviously killing right now. So I think that's kind of what their ideal situation is. They're trying to find a copy and paste situation, what ESPN is kind of doing. Obviously, they kind of did that with First Take 1. Obviously, they're trying to now do the whole Pat McAfee thing over there. See how it does. You know what I mean? It's the same situation because Pat McAfee does college football on ESPN. I'm sure it'll be some situation where I know they got their podcast or whatever. They'll probably just do their podcast on that specific time slot, wherever the case may be. So we'll see how it works. They got a following, so we'll see what's up.
Yeah.
Next up, Richard Jefferson, man, he made a bold prediction saying that USA basketball is not going to win the 2028 Olympics. Says he's not trying to piss people off, but that's what he feels like.
He's a commie. No,
what do you think? Do you think USA will win the 2028 Olympics without LeBron? Because I'm assuming no LeBron, no Kevin Durant.
And I'm always gonna ride. I'm always gonna ride for USA.
Yeah,
but it's not gonna be easy. But I'm still gonna ride. Come on now.
That team is gonna be young. Obviously, I think Anthony Edwards will probably be the big lead of that team. Chet Holmgren, Cooper Flag. We gotta see if any other vets will take a part of that, but we'll just see. Next up, I saw this tweet from Nico Ali Walsh. He says, when anyone asks who is the greatest defensive boxer of all time, the only real answer now is Shakur Stevenson. What are your thoughts with his tweet? Nico Ali Walsh.
Oh, what's your name's grandson?
Yeah.
Tell him to shut up. I like Shakur, but he ain't the best defensive fighter.
Yeah, give him more time. He's still young, bro.
Floyd is the best defensive fighter I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Shakur still be getting hit.
Yeah, he do.
Floyd don't. It's a very minimum. Maybe when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he get hit a little bit. When he became Money Mayweather, he wasn't hitting Floyd.
Yeah, no, I agree. Next up, Warner Brothers got the script from Matt Reeves and is said to be very, very thrilled with the Batman 2 script.
Okay, start filming. Let's go.
This is from Variety, obviously, well-known publication. Does this give you more hope for the movie? Obviously,
you're damn right. Come on, let's start filming. Get the cameras. Come on.
Well, I think they start filming, I want to say, end of this year. Top of the year.
Next year.
And then they will release, I think, the following year after that. Next up, man, McDonald's Malaysia launched Fan Fries, a double XL shareable version of McDonald's fries. It looks like two large fries put together. Do you think this is? So you remember when we had super size? So this is like pretty much two of those together, pretty much.
We need to do super size.
So this is my question: do you think McDonald's should bring super size?
You damn right. They should bring back super size fries, and I'm mad that they took it away.
No, they should bring back supersized fries.
That's the best thing. Well, outside the quarter pounder with cheese, but that's the best thing on their menu is them fries when it's hot.
Fries, nuggets, and apple pies are the best things on that menu.
They cinnamon rolls too.
I've never had a cinnamon rolls. I must try that. All right, next up, Joe Budden says the life expectancy of an artist is shorter than it's ever been. It's a whole lot of artists and waves that were piping hot that are absolutely over with. Life expectancy of an artist is shorter than it's ever been while earning more money than ever before. Just interesting when you look at the landscape. What are your thoughts with Joe Budden's comments?
I agree. We live in a microwave era of music to where if you're not putting out consistency, then, you get lost in the wayside. Now, it depends on what your goals are. Are you trying to be a top record selling artist? Then, yeah. It could be hard for you, especially if you're independent. But if you're just trying to make good music and you're trying to just build a certain type of fan base, then you can be very lucrative in this business. You know what I'm saying? As an independent artist, you got to stick with it now, and you got to be patient. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. It's patience. Like, if you independent, you trying to cut your teeth in this, you got to go do your shows. You got to be present. Freestyling every day, showing your everyday lifestyle, what you're doing, be personable with the people. You know what I'm saying? That's how you're going to make it in this era of music. You can't just put out music. People want to know who you are. Now, you can't be born and put out music because then they'll be like, whatever. But if you're interested, like LaRussell, you see that dude everywhere. He's not no top record selling, top charting dude, but you see him everywhere working with everybody. And he built that on his own.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. You gotta put the work in.
Yeah.
Got a couple more. Next up, Turkey Alashi.
Yep.
The great Hall of Famer himself. You know what I mean? Don't forget it. Announces in partnership with the Zone that there will be no more pay-per-view pricing for all Riyadh season and ring events, starting with the ring on November 22nd. All events will be available for free for all the Zone subscribers. What are your thoughts with this move, and what do you think this means for the future of boxing when it comes to pay-per-views?
Now I did hear that there's a recession with like they're gonna be doing a subscription, but with that subscription, you want to pay for pay-per-views. But I think it's a good thing. You're gonna get more eyes on the fights, and nobody's gonna be trying to sneak around, trying to do the little find somewhere to watch the fight. So if you have a nice little price, maybe $29.99 or something like that, and you pay that monthly, and I get to watch all these fights. Oh man, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Do you think this is the end for pay-per-views with
boxing
boxing as we know it?
It's over. Because we paying prices for fights that don't deserve that.
Yeah.
There should be no reason why I'm paying for a fight card that possibly should be on Friday night fights.
I'm paying like $60, $70 for it.
$7 for this. And I'm paying for this one fight because the undercard is kind of meh. Or it's just some guys I've never seen before. You know what I'm saying? They're up and coming, and maybe one day they'll be great. But right now they're not there, and I don't want to pay $70 to see some dude that's 2-0. You know what I'm saying? Get some tune-up fight to try to get himself up, and then I'm paying for this one fight.
So let me ask you. I think this leads into a really good question. How many boxers currently right now are pay-per-view fighters?
Canelo. Crawford, Tank, now Shakur, Benavidez, Usyk. I'll even say Tyson Fury still. I think that's it.
Anyway,
he's getting there, but I don't think he's there on the U.S. side. I think it was a good look for him to fight in the U.S., but he's got to ESPN, he's got to do it more consistency.
He does.
So he can kind of get that Manny Pacquiao type of rub.
I think he will. I think he eventually will.
Like if he start knocking out like more USA boxers, then he's gonna get that.
I think Anyway needs to be on one of these big. I wish Anyway would just be on this Crawford card. I wish he would be the co-main event. I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on that fight, and I think that would be really great for him, especially in that light. With all the superstars out and about and seeing him. I think that would be. I'm surprised they haven't considered that, but I know there's probably logistics with that, so we'll see what's up. All right, next up, paranormal investigator Dan Rivera suddenly died. He was currently touring in the U.S. with the real life Annabelle doll from The Conjuring, and I think he passed away in a weird car accident. So, what are your thoughts on this situation? And do you think people should just leave this doll alone?
How about you just leave paranormal activity alone, man? Leave that crap alone. Leave them demons alone, man.
Yeah.
What y'all doing out there, man? Why are y'all so interested into the afterlife? What's up with y'all, man? Doing all these demon searches and ghost searching and going to the most evilest place in the world, and the activity in here is so bad. You don't need to be there, player, because you're gonna take something home with you that you can't get rid of.
Yeah.
Now your microwave's going off for no damn reason.
Yeah. Repent that. I'm good. Yeah, I don't know why. Well, I don't know.
Lady over it, next thing you know, she gets smacked out of nowhere. It look crazy over there.
So I take you're not gonna go see this Annabelle doll if it comes out here to Vegas.
For what?
I don't know. Maybe you might be intrigued.
No, I'm good. I'm straight. I saw the pictures.
Yeah, I watch horror movies, but I'm not gonna go to that thing in real life. I'm Gucci.
Yeah.
Next up, man, a father was receiving backlash. When they pulled up to his home, he ended up getting ran up on, trying to get robbed. And as that was happening, he ran away from his 7-year-old son, Jamal White. This happened in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And they ended up taking his baby. I think the baby ended up being fine, but he's receiving a lot of hell because he ran away from his kid, not protecting his kid. And he said, quote, "Hell yeah, I ran. I'm thinking they trying to rob me, not take my damn baby." What are your thoughts with this situation, and how would you have handled it?
I'm fighting. You know what I'm saying? My babies, my 4 kids. Nah, man, you're not getting them. You know what I'm saying? If I got to get beat up in front of them, that is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna leave my kids out there like that. You're a coward, man. You're a coward. I said it.
You're a coward, though. I get it, but it's your kid, bro. It's your kid. Next up, Paul Pierce encourages black men in America to follow French Montana steps and date a woman from overseas, and says the women in the United States don't have the same values as the women overseas. Obviously, you're in a great, healthy relationship right now, but just asking you, what are your thoughts with this? And do you agree with Paul Pierce in his statement?
No, I don't, because I feel like it's to each his own, man. Whatever works for you, man. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the problem with people in giving dating advice. They try to go with things that they work for them. What work for you don't not work for me. You know what I'm saying? Women are different. You know what I'm saying? Personalities are different. Things that they like are different. So your girl might be more outgoing than my girl. You know what I'm saying? Your girl might be into different stuff than my girl. So it might not work that way. So if you want to date you an overseas girl, you feel like that's your lane, by all means, player, do your thing. I'm not gonna hate on you, but I don't think that that's the way in the light. Because if that was the case, then the statistics would show that.
This conversation should be more deeper. I would love to have a female on this conversation. I'm not going to comment on this, but maybe one day we can get the right
you just leave
parties
me
involved.
out there to comment on it.
Yeah, well, this is we want to hear your thoughts. This is why it's random news, my brother. Random news. All right, I got two more, man. We'll be done. Next up, extremist Ben Shapiro has quoted the saying that no one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea unless you have some sort of health problems. What are your thoughts with his?
Who the hell are you to tell somebody they don't need to retire? If they put the work in, they save their money, even if they didn't save their money. But let's just say they put their work in at their job, they put the time in, and at 65, they say, I'm calling it quits. Who are you to tell that person that they're wrong for that? I don't want to work no more. I built my stuff up. I got my pension set, 401k, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Who are you to tell me I can't retire?
And I think it's just idiotic too, because I think with retirement, it also sets a healthy transitioning period, because you have a new young workforce that's coming in. As these people are getting older, they slowly start transitioning out as these people start gaining knowledge, start gaining experience, and start transitioning into their positions. I think it just creates an all healthy overall balance when it comes to the workforce. Like, you can't sit here and have 70, 80-year-old, 90-year-old people that are trying to work. I think it's more healthy when you have people that are able to retire, whether it's through Social Security or, them working on their means by being able to save money and have a solid account, or whatever the case may be. I think it's healthy. I think this is just an ignorant statement by more people that just are trying to transition into a weird way of thinking, and it's unhealthy. And, I think Ben Shapiro is a weirdo. And last but not least, Randy Moss made some comments on Tyreek Hill's ranks among wide receivers in NFL history. He said he's nowhere all time where he's at in today's game. Tyreek Hill is probably top 5. Yeah, I'll put him top 5. What are your thoughts, and where do you think Tyreek Hill deserves to be placed amongst the receivers of all time?
I've always said that Tyreek Hill is a unique situation because he's not your atypical wide receiver. First of all, he didn't come in the game as a wide receiver, as a running back in college. You forget that. So he had to transition, work hard to become the receiver that he is today, because he was just known as the special team gadget guy when he first came to Kansas City. He had speed. He was a weapon. Almost, it was like almost Percy Harvin-esque, you know what I'm saying? So, and then he developed and became a wide receiver, a true wide receiver, number one wide receiver, and that's hard to do, especially at his height. You know what I'm saying? He's 5'9", maybe 5'8". Yeah. But he's stocky, but he's 5'8", 5'9", and the speed, the Olympic style speed that he has in pads, we've never seen that before in a receiver. We've seen some fast guys. You know what I'm saying? There have been a lot fast guys in this league. We've never seen a guy that's his type of fast looks different
Yeah.
on the field.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not some long strider or glider. He looks like he's running like Sonic when he runs on the field. Like, and you see that speed. It's just different.
Hmm.
Um, so as far as all time, I don't know if he's top 10, top 20. I don't know what the numbers show. I know he's got like 11,000 yards, and maybe, in 5 years, we'll see what those yardage look like. You know what I'm saying? Randy Moss is a Hall of Famer, and he has every right to voice his opinion on that because who better to know who is a top representative? A lot of people consider him the best of all time, him or Jerry Rice or T.O. So I think he's the one of the greatest deep threats of all time. You know what I'm saying? You cannot dispel that. He's one of the greatest deep threat, wide receivers we have ever seen. Him, Randy Moss, and I can't think of nobody else that was super fast that would just run past you
Yeah.
and you're not catching him. So he's probably one of those. But as far as greatest wide receivers, he's had his limitations as far as because of his height, his size. He's not like a 6'5", 6'4", 6'3" guy. So he's gonna have his limitations. But he's a hell of an athlete. He's made some crazy plays in his, especially when he's with the Chiefs, even with the Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? For him to put the numbers up with Tua, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people thought, oh, maybe it's gonna be a dip. He's not gonna have Patrick Mahomes, but he hasn't skipped a beat other than last season, and Tua wasn't healthy. He hasn't skipped a beat as
Yeah.
far as numbers. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. I think it's premature to be like, oh, he's not great. We'll see. We'll see. All right.
For sure.
All right, man. It was a UFC card this past week.
Hmm.
And we had some big fights. Let me pull this up. UFC. Well, we all know the big fight was Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. Poirier is retired now. You know what I'm saying? This was his last fight, and him and Max Holloway have had two other fights where Dustin Poirier has won those fights. A lot of people say that he was just a stronger, faster fighter than Max Holloway.
Hmm.
But this was their last fight. And but Max Holloway ended up pulling it out. Now, you could think, Dustin Poirier's in mind, he's retired, so he probably wasn't really in his mind, wasn't really into this fight. I know he got knocked down a few times, but Matt Holloway ended up winning unanimous decision. And he has the BMF title. So Holloway is the first fighter in UFC history to defend the uh, BMF belt and solidify his reign. So, what are your thoughts on this fight?
Man, it was a great fight, man. Obviously, it's bittersweet to see Dustin Poirier leave the ring. Obviously, he had a tremendous career. Definitely gonna be a Hall of Famer. I know at the end of the fight, he was a little pissed. He thought he did win the fight. He thought he might have won the last couple rounds, but overall, at the end of the day, man, it was a great showing by him on his way out. He's garnered by so much respect. You saw as he was leaving, all the fighters on Fight Row, showing him tremendous respect. He's definitely going to be missed in the sport. Obviously, the other big story is Max Holloway starting to call out Ilia Topuria again, with the BMF belt. Topuria, was seen, having the BMF belt. He's claiming that he is the BMF champion as well as the champion he currently is now. I can understand that based on him knocking out Max Holloway. He was one of the guys that was able to do it. So now Max is asking for that rematch. I don't know if the UFC is going to give it to him because I know they have bigger plans for Ilia Topuria. But maybe that might be a fight down the line. They might be able to get back going. But I think right now with the way Ilia Topuria is and the current map out for his career, I think they probably have bigger plans for him. So I'll be very curious to see if Max even gets that fight and what his next fight will be. But man, praise out to Dustin Poirier on a great event. I'm glad he was able to do his showing out in New Orleans in his home city. He got a lot of love out there, and wish him all the best, man, and whatever he does.
Yeah, for sure, man. Shout out to him, man. In his lustrous career, you know what I'm saying? They said he
Yeah.
was third on all time in wins.
Mhm.
So he has a great legacy in the UFC, and we'll see, who takes the reign from him? Is it Max Holloway and somebody else?
Mhm.
All right, man. The WNBA, I know we talked about it a little bit, but they had their All Star weekend, man. And you know, Sabrina Ionescu, she ended up winning the 3-point contest, and Team Collier, they end up winning the All Star game. I think the talk of the game was Nafisha Collier. She had 36 points. That's the most points in an All Star game from a player. They end up winning 151 to 131. Skylar Diggins had the first All Star triple double, tallying 11 points, 15 assists, and 11 rebounds. And Paige Beckers was the first one to hit the first 4-point shot in the game. So. Also, Natasha Cloud, she won the Liberty, the Liberty won the skills challenge too. So yeah, man, it was a good weekend for the women. I know Asia Wilson, she didn't play too many minutes, but she only had like 4 points or something like that.
Mhm.
We all know Caitlin Clark, she did not play. She has the groin injury, so she did not end up participating. But it seemed like, it was an overall good night for the ladies. I know that you've already spoke on it with the whole they had the shirts on. It seemed like it was more Team Nafisha Collier's side that had the shirts and was talking about pay us what we owe. Because
Mhm.
even Kelsey Plum kind of put them under the bus and say, Kaylin Clark's side, none of them showed up for the meeting.
Mhm.
so so it seemed like it was just more so on the Fisher Collier's side that was like, yeah, pay us what we owe with the t-shirts and stuff like that. So um what are your overall thoughts? I know you spoke on the other side, but what are your overall thoughts on the weekend for the WNBA?
I gotta ask you a question. What are your thoughts with Kelsey with what Kelsey Plum said? Do you think that's a good sign for them or a bad sign?
I do think it's a divide. I do think it's a divide. But I don't think it's a coincidence
Mhm.
either. Um,
Oh, you say that?
Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson, they making money, dog. They got a shootout.
Yeah, they do. They do.
And say what you want about Kayla Clark, she making money, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like those girls. Not to say that because I think Sabrina Ionescu was on Nafisha's side, right?
Yeah, she was on the Fisher side. Yeah,
I'm sure she's making a little bit of money, but I don't think she's making Asia Wilson in that money. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
think Sabrina doing all right. She has her
yeah,
own schools. I
yeah,
think she's
yeah,
doing
yeah,
good.
yeah. So I don't know, man. I just think that I don't know. It could be a NFL situation where if these girls don't come together and be as one, it's gonna be the same situation. You know what I'm saying? And they got to come together. Their top stars have to come together and be like, "Hey, we deserve what we deserve." You know what I'm saying? Don't go out the window, y'all, and talk about y'all want NBA money. Y'all not getting that, but y'all do deserve a pay raise to what y'all getting now.
No, they definitely deserve a pay raise. It definitely does raise my eyebrows that Team Clark was not a participant in those meetings because you would think that somebody who's supposed to be the face of this league, who's supposed to be this generational player that's supposed to uplift this league, is not being a part of something that's supposed to help uplift the league that she's supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? If you're going to be dubbed Jesus Christ of the WNBA, shouldn't you be the one leading the cause into the situation and helping the players get what they rightfully deserve? No one's sitting here saying that they should be paid in NBA aspects because we all know it all depends on the revenue and all that type of stuff like that. And the WNBA does not come even sniff close to what the NBA makes as far as like yearly revenue. But they do deserve a pay raise. But I think it just shows a lot to me. And I know a lot of people are going to think, oh, you're just getting on Caitlin Clark again. But no, to me, it's just another sign of like, I just don't think she gets it. Like you want all of us to put her in this high praise. And obviously, maybe there might be more behind the scenes on what's going on. Maybe she is maybe she is going to these meetings. Maybe she is on these calls. Maybe she's trying to push for agendas for these WNBA players to have a better lives for being a part of this league because they deserve it. So yeah, it's definitely interesting that they were not a part of it. That's something I think you should keep an eye on as far as that. Obviously the girls did wear the t-shirts, so it wasn't like I don't think they were like kicking and screaming trying to put it on. But obviously we'll see as far as like the future it holds is how they can get this deal done. As far as the game though, I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't get a chance to watch it because obviously I was at work and we were showing the UFC fight, so we didn't have anything on the TV, so I couldn't really see it. I saw a little bit of the highlights, but overall, from just looking at the stats and the highlights, obviously it's Nafisa Collier is probably clearly the best player in the league this year.
Mm.
Obviously, Asia Wilson is still great, but I just think with some of the injuries that she's going on, I just think it's just a little bit of a down year for her. But I think currently right now, I think Nafisa Collier is the best player in the league. And I think she has the best team in the league as well. So this is setting up to be the Lynx' year for everything. I think it will be a surprise if they don't win the championship this year. Obviously, the New York Liberty, I think they got some girl that signed. She's been out of the league for a minute, but I think she won like Finals MVP 1 year or something like that. They re-signed her, and then obviously you got to see if they get their center back. So obviously we could get the rematch of the Lynx and the Liberty as well. But I think it's the Lynx win. It's the Lynx championship to lose. As long as they stay healthy, Nafisa Collier, she's good. I think the Lynx should win.
I think right now Asia Wilson and Nafisa Collier are fighting for MVP right now.
They are. I would tip it to Nafisa Collier right now. I just think with the certain injuries that Asia Wilson has been dealing with, it's kind of slowed her down just a little bit. Not saying she's not putting up great numbers, but I think with the way the Aces are playing, they've been a little bit inconsistent. The Lynx are just clearly likes better than them. I think it's Nafisa's to lose.
I agree. I think that regardless what would happen, but I mean, I think Asia would just have to put up 30 points every game for her.
Yeah, like the Aces need to start winning at this point. They need to start winning because
they're
right
now
they're like hovering around 500.
Yeah, they'll win like 2 and then lose 1.
Yeah. You know what I mean? 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. You know what I mean? I get it. There's been some transition with this team. So it's a lot of some new faces and all that. But it seems like Chelsea Gray is finding her rhythm. She's out there saucing it up. Jackie Young, she's been playing pretty good. They still have some young talent on that team, trying to ingratiate players and stuff like that. So maybe this second half, you know what I mean? They got a game tomorrow night against Atlanta Dream, which I think we have high hopes for as far as like the future and stuff like that. But maybe the Aces can have a little run going into the, second half of this season and maybe position themselves to have a higher seed. And you never know. Maybe they surprise some people this year and have a deep run and maybe compete for a spot in the finals. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. ESPN, they put out a top 10 wide receiver list. They've been doing these lists. I know they put the corners out too, but we're just going to talk about this wide receiver list. Pull it up. So, executives, coaches, scouts rank the NFL top 10 receivers. So here we go. So number 1, they had Jamar Chase. Number 2, they had Justin Jefferson. Number 3, Tyreek Hill. Number 4, CeeDee Lamb. Number 5, A.J. Brown. Number 6, Amon St. Brown. Number 7, Malik Neighbors. Number 8, Nico Collins. Number 9, Mike Evans. Number 10, Garrett Wilson. And then honorable mentions, Terry McLaurin, Puka Nacua, Brian Thomas Jr., DK Metcalf, T. Higgins, and Devontae Smith. What are your thoughts on this list, sir?
That list is trash. Why is Puka Nacua not top 10? Puka Nacua could easily be top 5. Like that Rams offense runs through him. Like the moment Puka Nacua was not on that field, that Rams offense looked completely different. Like I like Tyreek Hill, and I get it. I think talent wise he's still really good, but I wouldn't have him number 3. I personally wouldn't have him number 3. I'll probably have AJ Brown number 3. I'll probably put Tyreek Hill maybe like 7 or 6 just because of his situation. But yeah, I think it's kind of crazy that you don't have Puka at least in the top 10 at all. I think that's insane. I think that's crazy.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that Puka Nacua definitely should be in the top 10. I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. I think Malik Neighbors is gonna be great, but I think you got to prove it on a consistent basis, and I just think Puka Nacua has proved it more. So I would put Malik Neighbors in the honorable mention, just like Brian Thomas Jr. And I'm putting Puka Nacua in the top 10.
I understand. I get you. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I like Garrett Wilson, but he's not top 10. He's not top 10. Sorry. He's not. I think talent wise he can be up there. I just think because he's put up the numbers.
I think he's put up 1,000 yards every season.
I hear you though, but I'm not gonna take
him trash at quarterback.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I'm not saying Garrett Wilson is not good. I'm just not putting him over Nacua. I'm not. I'm not. He's a smaller receiver.
Saying,
he puts up great numbers, but
I would, like I said, that's why I would drop Malik Neighbors out. And I
would take Malik Neighbors over Garrett Wilson, though. I would. He's just talented. He's just better. I get it. You got to see more years, but come on, man. We got to. I hear what you're saying, but come on, man. We see the tape, bro. We see the tape. Bro. I like Garrett Wilson, but
because if that's the case, you got to put time. Then you putting Brian Thomas Jr. in there. Then.
I think Brian Thomas should be in there too. I'm sorry, he should. I see my eyes, bro. We got to stop this. Oh, we got to look at. Nah, fuck that. Excuse my language. If you look in your eyes, is Garrett Wilson better than Brian Thomas Jr.?
Probably not.
Is he better than Malik Neighbors?
He's probably not.
Is he better than Puka?
But I gotta go off with the stats, man.
I hear what you're saying.
Inconsistent. I can't penalize Garrett Wilson for his.
I'm not trying to penalize Garrett Wilson. I'm not trying to at all. I get it. I hear what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But Malik Neighbors was playing with trash too. Brian Thomas was playing with trash too. What are we talking about? What are we talking about, dog? What do we mean? Come on, man. I hear what you're saying, bro, but come on, dog.
I gotta see it again.
I don't know what you need to see.
Because if Brian Thomas Jr. and Malik Neighbors have down years and then Garrett Wilson has a good year, then what?
What do you need? Bro, come on, man. Honestly, it's all codependent on what quarterback you have. Like these receivers are going to fluctuate just due to production on who is their.
Garrett hasn't.
But okay, neither did Malik Neighbors, and he was a rookie, and all they had was Malik Neighbors. At least with the Jets, you had Breece Hall. You had Breece Hall. You had Aaron Rodgers. You had Breece Hall.
Breece ain't been.
I'm sorry, brother. Brian Thomas Jr. didn't have Trevor Lawrence most of the year. What are you talking about? He put up numbers with homie who used to be on the Patriots, who's terrible.
Mac Jones. He's not.
Come on, man. Like, come on. You're making my argument even more stronger for me. It's nothing against Garrett Wilson. I have two eyes. Brian Thomas Jr. is better than Garrett Wilson. Puka Nacua is better than Garrett Wilson. I think you could have more of a conversation about Puka and Garrett, but I'll probably slight Puka just because he's a bigger receiver and he's their main focal point on that offense. And without them, we saw that offense ain't the same, even with Matthew Stafford. I seen Malik Neighbors and what he can do and what he was playing with. He was the only player on that team until they decided to put Tracy Jr. in there. And even then, he was kind of inconsistent. It was pretty much Malik Neighbors or bust with that team. I like Garrett, but he's not better than those guys. Sorry.
Okay.
Now, if you want to, is he better than Mike Evans?
No, he's not.
All right.
Well, I'll probably take Garrett over Mike Evans right now because of the age.
Just because of the age? I'll take you on that. I'll hear you on that. Would you take Garrett or T. Higgins? Would you take Garrett or T. Higgins?
I'm taking Garrett.
You taking Garrett over T?
For health reasons. Dude can't stay healthy.
All right.
And one's a number one and the other one's a number two.
Terry or Garrett?
I think they're the same. I think they're in the same boat.
So if Terry's an honorable mention, how you gonna sit here and tell me he should be 10?
Because I think Garrett. I'm just saying. I think Garrett Wilson has just been consistent, man. I can't reward him.
Cool, but I'm looking at just pure overall skill talent. I hear you with the consistency, but overall, Brian Thomas Jr. and Malik Neighbors are just better than him. Sorry, it's just reality. It's okay to say it. I think Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson are the same player. It's just Chris Olave has his injuries, and Garrett Wilson doesn't.
11, 10, and 11. I can't penalize him for that, for the trash.
I'm not penalizing him for that. I'm just saying. I'm looking at my two eyes. I'm taking if we have a lineup, if we're playing street football, and you had a choice between Malik Neighbors and Garrett Wilson, who are you taking?
I'm probably taking one of those two. But with your theory, so if let's just say for hypothetical reasons, Brian Thomas Jr. and Malik Neighbors have a down year. They have 700 yards apiece, and and Garrett Wilson has a 1,000.
Then we can have a different conversation.
No. With your theory, because they look better, you're taking them.
Talent-wise, they better, but let's be honest. All their numbers are going to be predicated on who throws them the ball, and I get it. Garrett Wilson has put up 1,000 yards. That's cool. You had Aaron Rodgers. I also saw Malik Neighbors play with worse talent than you, my brother. I saw Brian Thomas
this year, but not
this year, that year. And that year they put up great numbers. Malik Neighbors might have been the third, fourth best receiver in the league. Brian Thomas Jr. might have been the top 5 receiver in the league last year. So that year, they were better. Going into this year, I'm going to take Malik Neighbors. I'm going to take Brian Thomas Jr. I get you want to see it again, but in hindsight, and when you look at it and you put logical thinking into it, you're going to assume Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. are going to put up the same numbers or even better because this is their second year. The only thing that could deter them from not being great is their health. Besides that, they should put up numbers because we saw them put up numbers with trash quarterbacks last year. Okay. Malik Neighbors has a better quarterback than what he did last year. You got Russell Wilson. He's a decent thrower of the football.
I got you back, Garrett. Man, I got you back.
Oh my god! You trying to say I'm trying to mess this Garrett Wilson? I think Garrett Wilson is a great receiver. I really do. I'm just gonna take Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas over him. That's no disrespect.
I think you should be on the top 10 list, man.
Who you taking off? Malik, you taking Mike Evans off?
I told you.
You keeping Puka? You keeping Puka out? Are you keeping Puka out?
I told
Puka's put up better numbers than Malik than Garrett Wilson. It's not even close.
What did he have last year? Didn't he have a dad? Because when he injured,
who?
Puka
still put up great numbers.
Sure about that.
Are you taking Marvin Harrison Jr. or Garrett Wilson?
Shit, the way things look, I take Garrett Wilson. He didn't look good last year.
Jackson Smith and Jugman? And you?
I'm taking Garrett.
You taking Garrett over Jackson?
Yes. I gotta see it on a consistent basis, man.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I know we like to crown. What my man, what's his name saying? You want to crown them, then crown their asses.
I'm not crowning nothing. I just.
And Puka Nacua had.
I got 2 eyes and I know what I'm seeing.
Puka Nacua had 990 yards last year.
Okay.
With Matthew Stafford.
Didn't you say he was hurt, right?
Don't matter.
Oh, it don't matter now, huh? All right.
He played 11 games. That's well enough.
That's well enough. All right. I saw a lot of impactful games when he was on the field. Garrett Wilson was on the field. I didn't see a lot of impact.
Oh, is that right? Because it's his fault.
I didn't say it was his fault. I'm just saying, did you see the impact when he had them yards? Was that?
Yes, I did see. I saw some catches that was like, God,
was that winning them games? Was that? Because at the end of the day, we're kind of having the same conversation that people have with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott puts up numbers, but it's all garbage numbers at the end of the day. So it's inflated numbers. Is that what we're talking about with Garrett Wilson? Because I can have that conversation with Garrett Wilson that he's putting up inflated numbers that don't mean anything. He can be catching these balls when they're down by 30. What does that mean for me? What is that doing? But I seen Puka Nacua make game-winning catches, big catches for first downs and putting up great yards. Yeah, he may have been hurt, but he's winning them games. He's the main focal point of why they're winning games. Do you say that about Garrett Wilson?
It's not his fault.
Okay, so, but then you're kind of changing the conversation though. You're changing the conversation.
Aaron Rodgers was clearly throwing the ball to Devontae Adams.
He was clearly throwing the ball to Devontae Adams. Throwing the ball to Devontae Adams.
Yes.
What about the years before that?
What do you mean? He had Zach Wilson as his goddamn quarterback. That's what happened the years before that. And where is he at now? In Miami.
All right.
On his third team. Don't do that.
I saw Malik Neighbors play with Daniel Jones and homie that was an Italian mob member.
I'll take Tommy Cutlets and Daniel Jones over Zach Wilson.
You would take Gotti boy over Zach Wilson. I get Zach Wilson didn't perform well, but he was more talented than goddamn.
Why? Because he can throw a ball $1 million down the field.
Would you say coaching has something to involve with Zach Wilson and why he played the way he did? Do you think coaching didn't have an impact on him?
I think he is what he is.
So you're saying coaching had no impact on who he was?
Yes, he had a bad coach.
Okay, so
what happened last year?
He had a bad offensive coordinator.
Well, what happened?
Did he have a great offensive coordinator?
He had a good coach last year. What happened?
Who?
He had Sean Payton.
They were never giving him that job. They drafted Bo Nix.
So what? Bo Nix.
They were never giving him the job. So what is that? That doesn't help your point though.
Beat out Tua this year. Then He should be there too. He probably get some games. We'll see. Because if Tua get hurt, I want to see the Zach Wilson.
We'll
If he
see.
look
We
like
shall see.
trash, and if
We
he
shall
looks
see.
like trash, I'm coming
It's not
back.
gonna help your
still.
argument with with Garrett Wilson
Yes, I
being
am.
over Malik Neighbors,
'Cause
Puka
I'm still
Nakua, and
picking.
Brian Thomas
Look,
Jr.
on this list, I'm putting him at 10. That's my final answer.
That's cool. I'm not mad at you putting him at 10. I'm just saying, don't sit here and tell me when I say Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. are better than him, that I'm disrespecting him.
I agree that their talent.
I don't want to hear about
are
consistency.
better.
I'm looking at pure talent and what I've seen.
What's the problem? We want one. We see 1 year guys and then we crown them.
Are you sitting here and tell me you don't think Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas?
I
You
do.
even said Brian Thomas Jr.
I believe that they're great. I do, but we thought
you really believe
was going to be great.
You honestly believe if they're healthy, they're going to have bad years? You think they're going to have bad years?
I don't.
Okay, so what is your argument's null and void when you don't even believe it?
No, I still got to see it one more year.
Oh my God, what do you need to see? I've seen enough. They're going to be great as long as they stay healthy. Okay. The only thing you can say is Malik Neighbors' health is a little bit questionable because he did have some injuries last year. But besides that, I know what I'm getting from Malik Neighbors.
Okay, you right.
Are you not? So I don't want to see you draft him in fantasy. I don't want to see you draft Brian Thomas.
You can't tell me who to draft, nigga. Huh? You can't tell me who to draft.
No, I'm telling you, bro. No. You go ahead and draft. You go ahead and draft Garrett Wilson Jr.
I mean, that's
over them. I want you to draft Garrett Wilson Jr. over.
It wouldn't be a bad thing, but still,
I can.
If I want to draft Brian Thomas Jr. and Malik Neighbors, I can.
All right, for sure. You got it.
Tell me I can't draft.
Hey Garrett, and this is me. Not I like you. I love you as a football player. I think you're amazing, bro.
I don't like you, man.
I do, man. I think you're solid, bro. All
right, man. You got anything else?
Do I got anything else? Nah, man. Obviously, I'm excited. Obviously, training camp is pretty much kicking off today, tomorrow, stuff like that. I think we report tomorrow. But overall, man, Hall of Fame game is what, next Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man. Obviously, I think this week will probably be a little slow. Well, no, obviously not. We got training camp, so maybe we'll get into stuff we've been hearing about training camp on Wednesday and all that. But besides that, man, I do not have anything else to add for today. What about you?
Me neither, brother. All right, who you got? Flowers of the week.
Flowers of the week. I got two. I'm gonna give it one. First one, I'm gonna give it to Dustin Poirier. Obviously, him retiring, great career. So definitely want to show him some love. And then last but not least, this was obviously something that we broke earlier today. I definitely want to give my flowers to Malcolm Jamal Warner. That situation is very, very sad. I was reading a little bit about it as the pod was going on that it was in the coast of Costa Rica. I guess he must have been on vacation or something, and unfortunately he drowned. The officials out there had said so. I definitely want to give him his flowers, man. It's a sudden tragic to a story. It's sad, seeing people we grew up with and in our childhoods and certain TV shows, music, and all that passing away. And then for this story, man, it's tragic because it wasn't like anything where it was like natural cause or anything like that. It was a tragic, unfortunate accident, and man, it's sad, man. So I definitely want to give my flowers to him, his family, anybody that knew him personally, colleagues or anything like that, man. And anybody who's a big fan of his, man, definitely want to send flowers, prayers, condolences, and everything to that situation.
For sure, Mike. I repeat those sentiments that you just said about Malcolm Jamal Warner. Like I said, he's a direct link to our childhood from the Cosbys and then also some of the other stuff he's done. I used to love him, Malcolm, and Eddie, especially since they highlighted the city, Kansas City, and it was a great show. And yeah, man, he was one of the brothers in the culture, man, that we love rooting for. So it's definitely sad to hear this. He's still young too, so to hear this news is just crazy, man. It's just, man, sad to hear. Puts a damper on the day for sure. But prayers and condolences to his family and close friends for sure. My other flowers go to me and my lady on Saturday night. We went to go see Fantasia. I just want to give my flowers to Fantasia. She puts on one hell of a show, man. Like she did her thing, man. And That girl can sing her ass off, man, for
Yeah,
real, for real.
yeah,
So I just want to give her flowers, man, because like I said, my lady enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. The crowd was into it. It was a good crowd, and her show is top notch. You know, the two ladies that sing with her band, like they're all on point. Even the DJ, I want to give a shout out to the DJ before the show went on. He was playing all the old school joints from R&B, soul to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? He was just playing all the stuff to get us, ready for the show and stuff. So just the whole show as a whole, man, they did their thing, man. So shout out to Fantasia, man. You get my
for sure.
flowers of the week.
I still gotta go see her.
Yeah, it's good, man. All right, man. Who gets your hell no?
I see. I only got one, and I think it's very easy. It definitely goes to the astronomer CEO who got caught up, man. At the end of the day, brother, you fumbled it. You know, you're gonna have to give up half of your stuff. You probably will never see your kids again, but it is what it is. So, you know what? Take it on the chin, man, and you know what? It is what it is. So yeah, he gets my hell no, and that's the only one I got.
Yeah, I ain't really got no hell no's. Yeah, I ain't got no hell no. So all right, man. Another great show, man. 2 hours of content for y'all today. That's how dedicated we are to this. You know what I'm saying? All right. If you look at the screen, you'll see the QR code for our WWE shop. Go ahead and scan that. Um, you'll get all the merchandise from all the top WWE superstars from the OTC one. Roman Reigns is back, y'all. He came back last Monday, so you get his new shirt. CM Punk, Jay Uso, Seth freaking Rollins. Speedy recovery to Seth Rollins. I know he's out. And yeah, all the Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Jade Cargill, anybody, Io Sky, anybody that you love from WWE, you scan that QR code and get their merchandise. So, if you want to donate to the Cris Style Mal Podcast, you can donate to our Cash App, Cris Mal Podcast. We'll appreciate anything that you guys donate to us. Also, whatever streaming platform you use to listen to your podcast, the Cris Style Mal Podcast is available on Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, whatever you use. We are available. First time watchers on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, that like button, that notification button. So when we go live on Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and Wednesdays 9-ish p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you could jump into live with us. You could talk about these topics. We want to hear from you. We want to get your opinion. Do you agree with me on Garrett Wilson, or you agree with Maul on his Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr.? Do you agree with the Bleacher Report top 100 all-time list? Do you agree with our takes on the NBA and NFL news? How do you feel about the NFLPA? Give us your opinion. We want to hear from you. Agree with us, disagree. We want to hear it. Just be respectful, man. Talk to us now. Whatever social media platform you use, whether it be X, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Twitch, um, Facebook, whatever you use to do your social media, you can follow us at Cris Style and Mal. We'll follow you back. Just some regular guys who like to talk sports, music, movies, and all kinds of various other things. Um, if you have a question or topic, or if you have a question and feedback, or if you have a topic or question that you want us to bring up on the show and we like said topic, we will bring it up. We will shout you out because we want to show love to those who show love to us. So go ahead and hit us up via DM, email, or our mentions. I also want to give a shout out to the Mortal Kombat trailer. I'm ready.
EA, fix your game, dog. Fix college football. That game is the worst thing I've ever played, bro. Fix your game. Do not ruin Madden, bro. I hope y'all did something.
I don't care about
Bro, fix your game, bro. That
Okay.
game is terrible, bro.
Shout out to college football and go to hell. But shout out to the Mortal Kombat trailer. I do like the Predator trailer I just saw earlier today too. So, and the Stranger Things last season looks intense too.
Yeah, I've been waiting 30 years for that. Can't wait.
Hey man, they about 30 years old, but we here.
We've been waiting longer on Stranger Things than GTA almost feels like.
Nah, hey, don't do that. Don't you ever do that. Don't you picture GTA 6 that bell like that. Don't you ever do that. Yeah.
Oh man.
But all right, y'all. Until Wednesday, hope you guys have a good rest of your 2 days. Be safe out there. Have fun. Until Wednesday.